This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock, judging by the atomic clock on the wall. This is Q Talk America. You're in Studio C live right now. I'm Clayton McKee alongside Kat Carlson, Al Perkins, and of course, Marnie Ryer is somewhere across the valley. That little Subaru just zipping across the valley somewhere. We think. I don't know. I haven't heard from her. We assume she's coming. We're not sure. Already want to say hello to Dawn, Anant, Aaron, all in the chat room already. Hi, everybody. I think my mom is listening. Hello, Mama Di. And to all the ships at sea. Welcome, welcome on this St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I did the math a couple of weeks ago and realized it was St. Patrick's Day and then did nothing about it.
But that's a dark green.
Sure, let's say that. Sure.
What would you call it?
I don't really know. I call it like a slate, but
I think it's just
I'm uber gay when it comes to colors.
I think it's, okay. I just think it was, would you like your mic to be on? Oh, how about that?
Is this thing on?
Someone's being punished.
No.
I don't want to say who, but her mic's down.
I don't want to sit in timeout anymore.
Oh, I need to I know what I did. I relabeled things and then I screwed myself up. I tried to get all organized and shit, and then I,
and then did it wrong.
Yes. Anyhow, It's all good. We are all back together. There's wine and snacks. Kat made a pit stop at apparently it's called a grocery store where you can buy things of
this wonderful paradise full of edible items.
Wonderful paradise.
You boys should try it.
I hope someone locks the door securely during an apocalypse. So the food is there when we need it.
Yes.
Marnie brought food.
Oh,
hey.
My God. Oh, I have a feeling that that's not just food. I have a feeling that that's cake, and it's fat-filled.
Delicious sweet stuff.
I have a feeling it's my first time ever making corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
So I hope you don't mind.
No, I do not mind at all, but this...
I mind, damn it.
It might be interesting about 10:30, but in here.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, there is that. Marn Rye is in the house with her, of course, her lucky shirt.
That's right.
Her twins hat was got the green on it. Make yourself at home, Marn. That's all good. Very nice.
There's no green on your shoes. I don't want to criticize.
But I had my boxers, dude.
All right. Her Spanx are green.
Yeah, I got everything else green.
You're wearing Spanx?
No.
Oh.
No,
I'm like, what in the hell is going on with that? See,
No.
I believe Al in so many ways that I don't ever think that he's joshing me. I think he's being real
Genuine at all times.
all the time. Yeah, but apparently I find out, no, not so much. Very good.
Perhaps he was being a bit jovial.
Did you have a bell? I've been going crazy I'm like...
Sorry, I thought, being gone a week, I figured that you had forgotten I had taken it 5 minutes after I walked out the door, but I had taken it 2 weeks ago.
Remember, she said I need to... Well, you borrowed the bell a couple times. Once was for your mom.
Right. And so I said that I would pick up a friend from the airport with bells and whistles. And he said, well, you better have bells and whistles. So I showed up with bells and whistles.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
I don't remember
and
you
not at all annoying for the other people.
Yeah.
I didn't ring it a ton. Just to say, look, I have them.
This coming from the person who said when we originally got the bells that this will never work for the show.
It'll never be okay.
And it's been something we just beat the shit out of every week.
Terrible
Last
idea.
week when I was sick, he's like, oh, where's that Mercedes with the bell? Because I wasn't here for a moment
whatever
of-
name, yes.
Yeah, whatever you fucking came
No,
up
it just
with.
didn't matter. I'm just like, I was telling Kat, I got an extra bell when she joined, and now we've lost a cast member, so we should actually have a bell surplus. And I was...
We were
That's
bell
true.
deficient.
Yes.
And concerned.
Yes. But
Well,
I had
hello, Jenny, in the chat room.
Hello, Jenny.
My heavens, Nero is there as well.
Hello.
Harrison?
Aaron.
Oh,
Hi.
Harrison, Harrison, she's going for a walk as well, I guess? Is that what?
I guess it's been a little hotter in the LA area than it's been here because it's been perfectly pleasant. Today was just
Amazing.
slightly warmer, but I was also not sitting in front of, I was behind the door. So
Sure.
behind the green door. Was that in a porno movie or something?
Sounds like a behind the green door.
I'm not sure where we're
I
going
feel
with
like
all this.
yeah.
Lurks a man in his Netflix.
I was not sitting somewhere. I was trying to stay awake and sit up like a human being.
Oh,
So
like you do, sure.
So I was sitting on the couch that's
Like
not in front of the open door that wasn't getting the gentle breeze. So it was a little stuffy in my corner, the sit-up corner. Act alive. is what the voices in my head
Well,
were
why
saying.
did you
Alright.
choose to start that today?
Huh?
You haven't done it for years.
I know. It's a long story. It's a new leaf. It's a new me.
Oh,
Behind the door.
by the green
It's a
door.
new life. It's a new love.
And Nero and Anant and Jenny and oh my goodness.
You were there, and you were there, and you were there. Everybody's in there. It's all good. Oh my heavens! And then
So busy.
the different country. Well, somebody from who is it? Is it Anant?
Anant?
From
From
India.
Israel. Got it.
Or an
No,
ant.
it's from
No.
India.
India.
India. Oh, there's an I. Who is from Israel?
That's a new one. I don't think
Because
we've...
somebody is listening. Been listening for 4.5 hours. Apparently, they had nothing else to do today.
I am not aware of an
Hi.
Israeli, but good luck with your elections.
Apparently,
Yes.
well, not you already
Apparently.
declared a victory.
Yeah, but you can't. You don't really win that way. There's just a fun system.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a multi-party system. So, you make a coalition. Like getting the most votes is a good start, and then the president, who's kind of an honorary title, picks which person of the top couple gets to make an alliance with all of the other parties, and I think there's like 11 parties until you
Oh,
can get
my goodness.
61 seats in their parliament.
So it's like Survivor.
Right. It really is. You have to make alliances, and there's far left and far right, and so it's all
I've
very.
seen this on TV before.
I think it sounds like
somewhere.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's
At
really
what point
interesting.
do we have a tribal council and
and
vote
they
them
have
off the
20, they
island?
have like 28 days to do it, and then if they fail to get an alliance, and the other person gets a chance to like get the 61 votes, and then you're the party in power, and of course your leader becomes the prime minister, and then there's the opposition party. So it's very exciting.
And your
That
Benny
does
and the
sound very
Jets, though,
exciting.
declared. I'm with Clayton. I read that.
Right.
it was like,
That he
what?
got the most votes, so he'll most likely he'll
likely.
get the first chance to make his coalition. But there's very extremist parties, and like the Arab, they're called the Arab League or the Arab something or other. They got the third most votes, and they
Okay.
usually sit out of it, but they may stay in and throw their votes one way or the other to. They're calling them the kingmaker now, as the third party with a little bit of extra power.
Okay.
That they might throw their votes behind the more left-leaning people. And
I want to let Jenny know that Al is a wealth of damn near everything, really.
Yeah, it's a
true, though.
fascinating political system.
Occasionally,
Yeah.
we do fact check him, and he checks himself and finds out that he's terribly
No,
wrong.
admit it.
I was just gonna say
He'll
what he
admit
doesn't
it,
know, he
though.
makes up.
This one
Like
I got.
do.
This one I got though.
Okay, very nice.
But I do appreciate that.
Yeah. So once again, welcome everybody. Kat, we'll start with you. What's up?
Goodness gracious! I feel like every week just goes by so quickly. I don't.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, just
Wait till you get older. It goes by faster.
that scares the
Is that a break?
Jesus out of me.
For us, it went past way faster.
Right.
than
Once,
you.
once I get to y'all's ages,
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to act. No, it's been a whole lot of work, and the in-laws have made their final departure for the summer.
I thought they were already gone.
Well, here's what happened.
This just in.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Now, regular listeners might remember that they were here all goddamn winter.
Yes.
They left for a moment,
Yep.
came back, bought a condo,
It's kind of a
stayed.
Whitney Houston thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
One moment in time.
Sure,
Yep.
I'll go
Feel
with
it.
that.
I feel it.
Sure. So yeah, they came back for like a moment,
Okay.
bought a house, stayed in it for 2 weeks,
Right.
and then the last 2 days of their trip apparently had to stay at my house again.
oh,
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
Like
it was
you do.
nice. It was delightful. So they have finally departed for the
Doors
summer.
closed and locked behind them.
Yep, closed and locked. Yeah.
bolted.
Let me just get you that.
So what?
I said to her father, I said, "Are you gonna stay gone this time?" And he laughed and gave me a big hug and said, "Yeah,
Yeah, gotta go.
I'll see you in October."
I don't know who you are, little man, but I'm going to leave this house. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's kind
Now,
of what he said.
So what becomes of this condo? They're going to be gone all summer, so it's just going to sit idle, and nobody's going to do any renovation or anything, and they're just going to come back and miraculously live in this new thing.
Well, they're snowbirding, and so clearly, since their daughter lives in town, we will be in charge of checking in on it.
Christ! So they've straddled you with more shit to do.
Well, wait a minute now.
Now, where is it
No,
located?
hold
Where is
on.
it located
Where is
in
it?
relation to you? Right. Because
It's in Anthem.
Oh my
We're in
God!
That's are
Scottsdale.
off.
So
Okay, well,
it's not too
wait.
bad.
So if you want a weekend getaway, or if I do,
It's like a
then
staycation.
It would be like a staycation. You can go.
Right.
You have the outlet mall there, which is actually not too bad because not too many people
is that like
go
near
there.
New River?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's right
Oh.
before
Yeah.
New
Other
River.
side of New River.
Yeah, it's kind of a quaint little thing.
Now,
I-
isn't
I
that where
would be
Katie's
willing to go
parents
check
have
on
their
the
like
place for you.
All
old
right.
people
I'll
paradise?
let them know.
For the weekend.
Could be. I honestly don't recall.
Remember, Katie's dream is to live. Remember, her parents live in that fabulous place with the
Oh, the
pool with the waiters, and They go up there for their, and they're supposed to. It's the old person
Oh.
home. Isn't it Anthem?
I feel like
Perhaps.
A planned community.
Yeah, that would be a
that
planned
would be-
Is
community.
it a Del
Correct.
Webb community? Because those are all in Surprise.
Surprise! You're still in Arizona.
With old people and golf carts.
Anthem is the one that like
Where the
has
llamas
every-
run free.
Every year, you're in a whole paid-for society.
Oh, the llamas.
Isn't it? Anthem's the one that has like the child care and like everything is part of the master plan. It's,
Oh, you're talking about that's
it's Anthem.
You're talking
it's
about
not
no.
Anthem. No, it's. I know what you're talking about.
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
Are you
fucking-
talking about the
Are you
weird
talking
culty
about the
community
Mormons?
thing? No,
No.
Well, you said culty community.
Well, I did say culty
All right, I
community.
just
No,
wanted to
there's a
point out
weird
the
culty
obvious.
community up that direction. Starts with an A. That was supposed to be all inclusive.
Yeah, it's
like a
pretty sure I
it's
saw
not
it on
Anthem. No,
Dateline.
it's
Amish?
where the fuck is Molly Montgomery when we need her? She
I
would
know. Molly, are you there? Molly.
She moved into the cult and now can't make
Ah,
phone calls.
yeah. They've cut her off from all social media,
It'll come to me
think it's
later. I'll tell
all
you.
internet access.
Well,
Just
I
kind
don't
of.
think it
But no, it's I actually haven't been yet.
Oh, it's called Asylum.
Right,
no.
I'm looking.
could be.
I'm looking for A words.
Could be.
asshole.
Asshole doesn't sound like a community you'd live in.
Sounds like the
It
community.
does
I
sound
do
like a
live in.
sounds like a destination though. Not a.
Good lord.
Anywho,
But
so-
other than that, it's been really just work. I did a guest spot at Stacy's again this Sunday, and
I enjoyed seeing you there.
nice.
I enjoyed being seen there. It's very nice.
You like to be seen.
I do like to be seen.
I know you do.
No,
I like it.
Thank you for seeing me.
I do. I see you.
Yeah, and then yesterday I got up and thought I was going to be productive until 2:00 hit, and there I was, just face down on my couch snoring.
Oh,
No,
Done.
just
A-
gone.
Not productive.
surprise attack of the sleepies happens.
Yeah, surprise attack of the you're no longer conscious today. Good night.
Guess what? You wasted the whole day thinking you were going to be productive.
Sure
Sorry.
did. Sure did. But I did get to binge watch an entire season of or the entire Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is very fun.
Funny
That was very
shit.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. I watched the whole thing in like 2 days. Just
I saw an episode and a half, and I it was just time to call it a week,
yeah.
and I had to stop.
Yeah.
But very, very
You have
funny.
muscles. I don't.
And Atticus Andromedus or Andromeda.
Oh,
what is it?
Titus Andromedus.
Titus Andromedus.
He is
fucking
hilarious.
kills me.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you? Are you from? I'm from Indiana. Say no more. Say no more.
Thank you, Derek.
He's fantastic.
Hi,
yeah.
and then, oh my god, when they start doing the Lion King in the middle of Times Square, almost shit my pants. With him dressed as Iron Man.
It stays just that ridiculous and just that fun. Just watch the whole thing. Like Tina Fey can do no, and then Tina Fey appears.
I
Oh,
appreciate
she's
that
great.
every time.
I was wondering, and Jane Krakowski just. I know she's now playing a type, and she just has that, but she has it so down pat.
Mm-hmm.
She opens up a refrigerator, and what does she do? You want what's the water that she's pushing?
There's water and there's diet water.
But it's a brand, and like she just, and it's kind of like it's product placement because she opens it up, and that's all that's in this refrigerator is the water, and she holds one out and she hands it out to Kimmy, and she's like, "Do you want one?" And she's like, "No, thank you." And she just throws it in the garbage.
It's already out of the fridge. It's ruined.
It's ruined.
Ruined. Oh, so much fun. So yeah, that's my whole exciting week. Woo.
And then, well, your girl had her birthday was just the other day,
Yeah.
too, right?
She did. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I didn't go. Yeah. Happy birthday, Sharon. I didn't go.
I
Well,
love
no,
it.
but there was a picture of you doing a brunch thing I saw.
Oh yeah. Well,
that counts.
eating food counts.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
but it was on her birthday.
Yeah.
This
I mean, I think
cracker
that
is in
was-
honor of her birthday.
I don't know.
Well, it
you
was
posted
now.
you posted a picture of the two of you together at some brunch thing. I assume that was participating in her birthday. I just guessing.
We'll go with that. Sure.
Okay,
I
got
like
it.
it.
None of that
Got
is
on.
true.
Well, Marnie, now you haven't been with us for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Now last Wednesday, it was drawn to my attention because I saw it on Facebook.
Somebody called out
Well,
sick.
You called out. You said you were ill, and that's fine. And
I was, yeah.
don't. But you miraculously you were in Fountain Hills the next day with
No,
taking
Friday I
pictures.
was.
Oh, it seemed like it was the next day.
It might have, but Friday I was. I was out from. Nope, and I did not just call in sick.
Not that it means a goddamn
no,
thing
I'm
here.
just
We're
letting you
fine.
know. I would let
Karen,
you know.
you called in
otherwise-
sick today.
What?
Right.
Achoo.
Yeah.
No, the week before all the nuptials that took place for Brenda and Robin, I was feeling it. Like I was like, oh, here we go. I can't. You know. Come Sunday night, I was out and voice was going and everything else. And then Monday was the first day of Aaron's spring break, and we went to a game. We went to a Cubs game. and plowed our way through that. And then I went home and just slept basically till Thursday.
Wow.
I mean, I was just out. And I just think it was a combination of everything, you know, where you're just like everything kind of comes together and you're like, okay, now I'm done. So I was out
And
like,
it definitely was seasonal allergies week here in Arizona.
It was, and
because it got warm and sunny in one day.
Everything decided to bloom all at once.
And everyone is saying, many people, I should say, that oh, it's probably just allergies. Well, I think before that it was something else.
Well, plus there's something that has been going around where I work, and I mean everybody's
It
had a
felt
little.
like in here, it was awful. But then I think it was allergies after that. I just started popping these little red pills and was like, okay, I feel better. Like allergy
What
kind
do
of
the red?
things.
What do the red ones
do? Yeah.
They made me feel mucho better.
Well, if you're in the Matrix, they're the
Remember they
ones
used
that
to call
open
them
your
bennies?
mind.
That's right.
Remember those days?
No.
That's right.
Anybody
I
old
don't.
enough to remember
What's that?
bennies?
Yeah. Oh, I said the red pills in the Matrix are the ones that open your mind and unplug you from the Matrix.
That was not what happened, but
Are you sure?
Damn it!
Oiled.
Damn it, Neo!
Are you sure?
Thanks, Jenny. But really, I was done. But this the week otherwise fantastic. We had a really great wedding for Brenda and Robin. It was fantastic.
Oh,
and
very nice.
Saturday.
It was successful. They sealed the deal.
Well, after 35 years, you'd hope so. And
That still blows my mind.
and their niece, who was also a part of the wedding, kept saying, Robin, there's still time to back out. And because I had to sign and send
An
off
optimist. Sure.
optimist. They just don't do it. Don't do it. And so I have pictures of me actually sending the wedding certificate, their license in, so that
Oh,
here
that's so
we go.
exciting.
But it was fun. It looked like Pinterest threw up all over my backyard. It was gorgeous in the backyard. We had the reception.
Pinterest is a dangerous game. It's a
We had
dangerous game.
lights
I still don't
everywhere.
understand it. I
looked
haven't-
like,
I don't know what it is.
It was like a little Neverland in the backyard. It just was
Oh,
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So there were orphan boys all over your
well,
backyard?
just a lot of midgets, really. But it
Weird.
was. We didn't really feed
Was
anybody.
Was Roger there?
He was.
Was he?
He was. He He gets out there when
When I
there's a
say
DJ,
Roger, I don't mean Roger from American Dad. Not that Roger. Her nephew. For those listening, not here in the studio,
Actually, Robin's brother. It's Robin's brother.
but Robin's brother.
Right,
Got it.
right. But he is just, oh God, yeah, Nant, I am. He is so funny. You get Roger has Down syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and is the life of the party. And there was a
Very
DJ.
very happy kid. He was.
Oh my God! Well, and he got out there. He just dances, and he was tapping every gentleman on the shoulder who was dancing with a pretty girl or anyone, and he would tap them on the shoulder and then be like, "Go away." Like I'm being very polite, and then he would thank them.
Now it's time
and
to
then
leave.
he would dance with the pretty girls, and he'd just smile. God, he's funny. Oh, just watching him
that's sweet.
was wonderful. Yeah,
I haven't seen him in several years. The last
Yeah.
time was I forget
think
what.
my mom's birthday.
It may have been
wasn't
your mom's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So 7 years ago. But yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Time do
Time
fly.
does fly. But otherwise, aside from being sick and just the wedding was just phenomenal. It couldn't have gone better. I learned something about Apple products though that I'd like to throw out to anyone and everyone.
To see if the rest
The
of us
Kool-Aid
already know.
drinkers?
Just in
Right.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I finished the ceremony and what I was going to say and everything else on my phone. Right.
Okay.
I finished everything and it was lovely. And then, but I almost always use my iPad when I'm standing up there so that it's bigger and whatnot. If you do not plug your phone in to the Wi-Fi while you have it in the same place as this, Evernote, it doesn't
sync.
Oh yeah,
so
eventually
I'm
they
standing up there with my iPad and I'm like, and the one time I left my phone in the car because I didn't need it.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not here. There's nothing here. And I said, well, it's a good thing I've known him over 20 years, so we can punt. But it was people scurried and whatnot.
Did you start out with that
Dearly beloved.
yeah, we are gathered here today to get to this thing called life.
No, actually, I was going to. I did that for Robin and Brenda.
If I get married, I want that.
And Brenda got it Robin did not, and was like, God, that's really good. And about a week later, she heard it on the radio, and she went, damn it. I didn't realize it was Prince.
Didn't you do that in Cisco?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
I did. It was very funny.
I think that is funny.
It was wonderful. So, and Johnny, do you remember Johnny Simkus?
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny was who we flew in. He sang at their first wedding, their first union ceremony.
Okay.
And he has a gorgeous voice. He's very operatic, he's amazing. And so we had him kind of hidden, and I said, we're missing something when we were doing the rehearsal. And so we started the music, and I was like, Aaron, can you just press play? I want to hear something. And Johnny was standing where you couldn't see him, and he started singing. And Brenda and Robin had just been talking about him. Like, oh, if only Johnny could be here and it would bring it all together. And so the song started, and they're like, oh my God, how did you get I said, I got a recording. Look at me. And here all of a sudden he comes walking out of nowhere singing to them. And it was just the five of us, and we all were just, it was wonderful. So it brought it all together, and it was just an absolutely beautiful day. Yeah, so
Well,
I'm done. Sorry about
For
that.
at least 2 more minutes, I'm going to believe in love.
Sorry. It really was.
Possibly
it
less.
was.
That's going to be a wonderful 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was
And
lovely.
if I could add to 30 seconds of it, please, because I think this is such a really fantastic, and if I can get her vows, I would love to be able to read next week what Robin said.
Been together a
Robin,
long time.
They've, well,
At this point,
still here.
what's the problem?
Thanks for the beer in the truck. I'll stay with you. All right, go.
Robin is, of the two, Robin is very quiet, very shy. She
Yes,
sits back,
very-
kind of watches everything.
Very much so.
Right. And so when it came to the vows, Brenda, who's boisterous and kind of out there and whatnot, Brenda said her vows, and they were lovely. And then Robin turned around, because they have been together 35 years, and they have not been accepted by everyone in the family, even the people that were there, some of them that were there, and we give points, obviously, for that. I mean, thank you for being
Yeah.
there. But you don't accept me at all, or even
that's
believe
a-
in this. So Robin turned around, and without, she certainly wasn't yelling, but with this loud, very prominent voice, just said, with all the love in the world, screw you, basically. And it was the most beautiful vows. I know that I'm saying that wrong by saying it
You're not
that
doing
way.
it justice.
I'm not at all. Because she was just...
What did you say? With all the love in the world?
With
what?
all the love in the world, I'm saying that, but almost said screw you.
Oh,
Like
good.
to
Good for
everybody,
her.
because her vows were so on point. And they were so, here's what our love is about. And for everyone that's here that doesn't agree with it, you don't have to. And you also don't have to be in our lives. And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We love, but it was
Here's your
so,
hat, where's your hurry?
Yes. And it wasn't mean. It wasn't anything, but it was so brilliant. And coming from the person who doesn't really speak.
Voice at all, right?
And doesn't really
They're
voice it
always
up.
the ones that you got to keep your eye on.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
It
They're always
was-
harboring something.
It was wonderful.
Fugitives.
It really was, though. So just that extra second, I apologize, you guys.
No.
Stop
Oh
now,
my
but it
God!
was-
I'll never get that time back.
I'm just saying. So, but if I can,
2.5 more hours are coming back either.
it made me think of thoughtful vulgarity, like just times that we've talked about, different things and people
Mm-hmm.
accepting and all of that. I have just never. I was absolutely. They turned back around and I was bawling, and I'm like,
that's sweet.
God damn it! Now you're man and wife. You're boy and girl. You're gay. You're the lesbians. You're married.
You're the lesbians.
What am I supposed to say? I'm crying.
Who are you people?
Yeah. So it
Well, good for
really
them.
was wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, done. Love.
And they've always been terrific friends of the show.
Oh, they are.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, yes.
Batman and Robin. And then we all went to the Olive Garden and Red Lobster for the reception. Per Buddy Early.
And one Coors Light.
Correct. That we all opened with our teeth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I can't even think about that.
Oh, I know.
And tipped a quarter on.
Yeah, exactly.
If they made half a quarter,
If at
I'd
all.
give you that.
If at all.
Slide
That's
that
called
quarter
one bit.
across.
If they
No,
had
no,
12 and a half
you
cents.
keep that.
Yeah.
Buy something pretty. Jesus
Not
Christ.
all in one place there.
Oh, my God.
I actually had an old woman do that to me
Shut
more than
up.
once. Like slide me the quarter. And
Shut
be like,
up.
like winked at me and was
And
like,
meant it.
"That's for you." I was like,
You can't even buy chiclets with this shit, Grandma. Come on.
"You see that candy machine over there? It takes 50 cents."
You know what it takes to make
Buying
it?
Lucy's get you a shot. What are you trying to do, lady?
Get me another beer, you
Give me enough to
whore.
buy a pack.
You can't even make a goddamn phone call for a quarter. If there is a payphone in somewhere in...
Oh, there is. In the weirdest spot. Remember by the zombie apocalypse fries?
Yes.
That's now something else. So this,
LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, Blast.
Blast Fitness.
Blast
Oh,
Fitness.
whatever.
Your
So-
gym.
Yeah, so they, obviously.
You can't remember the
May
name
or
of
may
your...
not be open. And then they put, so the people couldn't just wander like zombies. They put up individual parking barricades, whatever they're, those little cement things
Yep.
Yeah.
that I've been known to fall asleep on. Right across there in the middle of that field, to the west of that parking lot where the zombies are, is just an open field.
Yes.
There's a phone booth
Shush.
attached to a light pole, all alone.
It's
And
for
if
drug
you
deals.
if you stood
Well,
there
duh.
and photographed it right, it just looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Like Sarah Palin.
Like, so I
could
was
do
just gonna say.
Sarah Palin could carry a suitcase there and look like even in the middle of nowhere. I'm
We
still
should go
dumb.
stage that to be just one... You can't call us. Not on this phone.
Not on this phone. Crazy.
Oh, that's good stuff. Well, I'm glad that you're back in good health.
thank you.
Al struggled through. We almost
know.
lost him a couple times from coughing last week.
Near-death
but you sound like
experiences.
you've recovered nicely.
Yeah, they went right back to working a billion hours. So it was fun. Because I didn't drink. No, I did drink last week. I didn't drink, but we finished up fast. And they just put a note out that they needed somebody to help in the morning, so I ended up working
That's right, you
Monday
did
night
do
extra.
that. Day
I worked
shift,
a
yeah.
Wednesday day shift, and then I worked all weekend. And then they asked me to come in on Sunday, so I did. And then they were like, "Can you stay for part of Monday since you're already here and do like a half day?"
Is that the one where you posted about the restraining orders? We're going to follow.
That was Wednesday. Because I'm like, as
okay.
soon as the court's open, people are gonna be suing me. But I stayed pretty friendly. I went full tard at about 5:30 in the afternoon.
Oh.
Because I was like, well, this isn't bad, and it was real. It's weird to be on a normal body clock. So like, I had breakfast, and about 1 o'clock, I was like, I'm a little peckish. I need something. And then at 5 o'clock, I just seriously could not find my way out of a paper bag. I was like, And the guy that I was working with was like, sit down, you're making me look bad. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just walking back and forth to stay awake. But he's like, you look really busy. I'm like, I'm not. I don't even know
but
where
if you
I am
master
right now.
that, you're good though.
There is an art to walking with purpose, looking
Yeah.
like you're busy.
And he really honestly thought I was doing something. I mean, I spent 30 minutes looking. We're on the 11th floor, and I usually work at night. So, you catch the sunset and the sunrise, but you're usually busy. So to have like a 30-minute period where I was just staring out the 11th floor window, and I'm like, it's really pretty out here. And then I'm like, oh, I've been here for a long time. Somebody's going to notice that I'm missing. And then, but I worked till, I don't know, like 11 o'clock in the morning. I worked from 7 o'clock Sunday night till like 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and it was hard
Jeez.
work. There was no staring out the window. It was a good 16 hours or 17 hours, however the fuck long that was. It was a long time. I think it's like 16 hours. I was beat. I got home, watched one episode of Kimmy, tried to watch the second one, and I couldn't hear them talking over my snoring. I realized I was like still had my eyes open but snoring. Oh my god. And then today I was like, oh, I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna get stuff done. I get the notice that they're delivering my wine.
Oh,
Is
good.
being delivered today.
It's like
but you
Christmas.
have to sign for it because it's alcohol, so you can't leave. So I had to stay around the house because that's like herding cats to get UPS to deliver liquor.
Right.
It was a pain in the ass. They came at 6:25.
I
was so pissed off.
You could have done so
But
many
they
other...
try to make it so
motherfuckers.
somebody's home. They don't try to deliver like in a time when people would normally be working. So I think me and the wine
Well,
shipments have to break up.
Let me
'cause-
tell you how you remedy that.
Yeah, have it sent here.
No, that
There you
wasn't
go.
the option I was
All
going to give
right,
you.
Is that enough
that's
there?
a bit
No,
nice, okay.
there is the thing called My UPS. You sign up, create an account just for that. So anytime something is coming to that address, you get a notification. But you can also specify certain things you can have where you don't have to sign for it. I'm not sure if that would be the case with the
liquor you have to sign
But
for.
you
You
can also
can
specify
waive
windows
your-
of time.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're a person who's only home in the morning, you specify your shipments have to be in the morning, and it doesn't show up at 6:25 at night.
That's all I have to do.
Yeah.
No. You can also, I forget what you have to sign up for with UPS, but then it like alerts you when things are like scheduled to be shipped to your house, and then you can like close the window a little bit, or you can move it, and you can waive your obligation to sign for it. There's like this whole online form because I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had a phone shipped to me, and I was like, it'll be fine. Let it sit on the front fucking porch. I don't care. And I waived my right to sign
Yeah,
for
and
it.
the liquor thing is odd though.
Sure.
Well, you're right, and that may be an exception.
Because you
where
could
may
be a child.
But if you
Right.
can at least narrow that time window down to like they're
Yeah.
going to be between 10 and 2 as opposed to sometime today,
Yeah.
that would be better for you.
But it's fine, and it's it's 4 lovely wines, and it's kind of for the Doug's 50th birthday is in the next.
You just said that out loud.
couple. No, it's next week. I think.
Said that out loud. Is
Be
he
Sunday.
still listening?
It's like 5 days from now. Anyways, Doug's 50th birthday is on the horizon, and his favorite wine is the one that I had shipped. So
Gotcha.
Oh, that's nice.
we're going to Palm Springs for Easter to see Dame Edna's farewell tour.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, that's
in honor of
fantastic.
his birthday, so I got a couple bottles of wine to bring with us, and luckily there was a lot of champagne left over from the Oscars. Shockingly,
Yeah.
but we had a lot of.
Seem like there
Did you
was,
decide
that
to not
much
drink all of it?
Huh?
Drunk.
No, we
Drank,
didn't. We didn't come close to drinking
Well,
all
what
of
I'm
it.
saying is, didn't last year you decided to just drink all of it? I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe.
No, it was 2
At the
years
Oscar
ago.
party,
But
was
no,
it 2 years ago?
But
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's always like a bottle or so left, but this year
Time.
there's
It goes
like
slower
4
for
bottles
young
left.
folks like me.
Yeah. Oh no, that one was the not. Well, the drinking was a problem. The not eating was the bigger problem.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because Mama's got to eat. If she drinks, she got to eat. Like
Sure.
you can't have one without the other. Yeah. So that was it. What did you do?
Got into a little bit of spring cleaning, moving stuff, throwing stuff away, getting things. I told you, I'm gonna go through every fucking drawer and thing in this house and just purge stuff and get out of here. So start on that. That's why the back room of my house is. You can walk through it with ease, and there's all kinds of room. So I did that. Did installation just today. We have a new restaurant that's opening in just a couple weeks called Corduroy here in town, which is a sister restaurant to some other ones that we have, like the Fez, Switch, Rebar, that whole family. They're opening a new one called Corduroy.
I'll wear my finest ones.
Yeah.
Zip, zip, zip,
Don't
zip,
need to be
zip.
cold.
I hope to God the staff is not forced to wear corduroy.
I hope to God that they are.
Oh God, Tim would have fit in so well. Tim was the corduroy king of Niagara Falls for many years. And I said, now you said it, and I went to. Remember we were watching Miley Cyrus sing 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that I always think he says, no need to be corduroy.
Mm-hmm.
What does he
coy, Roy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because even now I went back to him, I don't know what the real lyric is, but I know that that's wrong. You don't
There's
need to be
no,
corduroy.
but there really is
Just
no
listen
need to
me.
be corduroy.
Yeah,
There is no need.
They're
They're
also
But I
warm.
tried to tell Tim that for years.
They're warm, they're durable, they're stylish.
Well, nah. I mean, if you're
They come in 4
if
different
you're
shades
too
of
big
brown.
and you're walking,
They're
then you
stylish
can
if it's
see
1974.
yeah.
Or
Yeah, they're coming back.
I mean,
They
sure.
caused a
Corduroy's coming-
friction
corduroy's
down there
back.
that is not soon to be forgotten.
Corduroy's coming back. It'll start a fire.
You don't need
if
to
you're too
wax or
fast.
shave. Just wear corduroy and watch it burn off.
You need to get better Spanx, honey. That's
better space.
Just get green ones.
Yeah, just get green ones.
there you go.
So did that, and then the other thing that was it's always nice to get some validation, and I shared this with a couple of you already. I have a friend who works in the media industry, and he said to me, he says, "Hey, you do the show out of your house. I want to see the studio." La 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 la. And he goes, "And I have a friend named Tim that you might know that wants to see it too." And I'm like, "Okay." So we talked. Well, last Sunday, 1:30, they stopped by, and it was an honor, and it was very cool to not only to show off the studio, which is just a humble studio, but they were completely impressed with what these are people who worked in radio.
That's not me in it.
Yeah, Tim.
Can you imagine?
Tim Hattrick from Tim and Willie used to be on KNIX here in the Valley, and then they did a Chicago stint. Also did an online show for quite a while. But it was very cool to have him. And I told Tim sit right in your chair, and we sat in here for like an hour and talked about all kinds of different opportunities and things that
You
they're
had a chance to
working with.
record it. Did you do it?
No, there was no recording. There was no need for that. But he looks at me at one point and he goes, "Hey, can you pop me up on this mic?" And he goes, "I haven't heard my voice in headphones in a while." So he put on your headphones and we just sat here and talked with headphones.
Did you wipe them
That's
off
funny.
after?
No, I left them on. No. It's all good.
That can't
But anyway,
be done.
it was very cool to have those guys come by and see it and just be. They were impressed. I'm like, well, it's a 1-car garage converted. That's what this is. But it was very cool to they're like they also thought we were quite funny. We talked about going to a broadcast on actual airwaves, but we're gonna have to do some cleanup.
Do you mean our language?
Yeah, we can't just call people cunts every 5 minutes. Like,
But
we
what
want.
if it's
How about every 10 minutes?
Yeah,
I'm
we should
willing to
have
go to
somewhere-
15. I'm really willing to go
I'm
to 15.
willing to go to 15
here.
as long as anytime Michelle Bachman, Jan Brewer, Sarah Palin,
Well,
anybody like that comes up.
No, we'll have to be on a hell of a delay. But anyway, what they're working on.
It's a hell of a delay at sea, sir.
Well played.
It is a hell of a delay at sea. That's
like it.
funny stuff. Anyway, welcome back again, Marty. Welcome back. I think are you ready to go with me, darling? You think we can pull this off?
I'm gonna do as well as I can. Yeah, I'm
You
ready.
you think so?
I think so.
All right. Well, let's see what we do, and hopefully we won't cross over each other's
We'll
stuff.
see.
But
If we
here
do,
go.
I have others.
All right, well, we'll make it. It'll all work out. Here we go, boys and girls. Headlines on Q Talk America. Woo! Stories that mostly are true. Actually, all of mine are true this week.
Yeah.
Nothing's bullshit. Oh, no, it's all bullshit.
This whole show.
As bullshit goes. No hide and seek, but would you like some meatballs?
I'm a bigot.
Shots fired over a beer argument.
I'm gonna walk into that car.
Shacking up is still a crime in 3 states.
This ain't Coke.
77-year-old sunbather asked to wear trunks.
Piss and fire.
And a man spray paints his face black to escape police. Epic fail coming up. These and other things we'll cross-talk about coming up right now on Q Talk America on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, my heaven's sakes. Well, IKEA asks that people stop playing hide and seek in their stores.
It's very funny.
I'm already devastated.
IKEA, 32,000 people actually signed up to play an in-store hide and seek game. Now, IKEA, if you've not been, and it's an interesting store to go through. If you've not been to one, please make a
Well,
day
not everyone
trip.
has one in their region.
No, that's
we are
true,
a
they
lucky,
don't.
lucky city.
We are, because the closest one used to be San Diego. Oh no, Palm Springs,
San Diego.
and then there was one in San Diego.
Someday
But yeah, so we here in the
Swedish fucking nightmare.
in the greater Phoenix area, we have an IKEA out on I-10. Anyway, usually a fun place to go, but the Swedish furniture store, better known for meatballs, ball pits for kids, and unpronounceable dressers, as well as other items, has taken a stand against irreverence by banning massive games of hide and seek within their Dutch-based stores.
I don't know why I found that sentence funny.
And by massive, we mean 32,000 people signed up for a Facebook
Wow.
event in Eindhoven, 19,000 in Amsterdam, and 12,000 in Utrecht. It's hard to control. IKEA group spokesperson Martina Smedberg says, we need to make sure people are safe in our stores, and that's kind of hard to do if you don't know where they are.
We've got some real good hiders here.
Well, last summer, hundreds played the game in a Belgian IKEA location, but right now, IKEA is trying to ramp down people
Oh, we got to organize one now.
hiding.
I feel
in
like we need one in what city is that? Is that in Gilbert?
Tempe.
Tempe.
I
It's
don't
out on
fucking know.
I-10.
My
Yeah.
only experience in an IKEA was such a fucking nightmare. I've never gone back, but
Oh, I've gone
Just take
several
booze.
times.
That's what Aaron and I just take booze.
I was totally,
Take wine, like wine in here. It's just
Little to-go
it makes
cups.
it a
totally,
little
totally,
better, yeah.
totally
Nice.
mean-spirited
Yeah.
hungover in San Diego, and I got trapped in that rat maze that you can't get out of.
You can't.
And I was
It's
like, "Get
terrifying.
me the fuck out of this store!" And I was like, "It was like being in It's a Small World or Space Mountain. You got to ride the whole fucking ride to get off."
Well, if you play your cards right, there
I was
are
probably to fake a heart attack. I was in hell.
there are doors that you can cut through and bypass the entire line of having to go by every
But you got to
item they
know
own.
what you're doing. You
No.
got to research ahead of time.
Right.
Like,
And go with a friend that's already been there, for God's sake.
For
and
sure.
I had no idea what I had got myself into, and I was like, I was so hungover, and there was so close to being a dead body in every exhibit.
Exhibit.
you poor baby.
It's called displays.
And then when I found out you got to build the shit yourself, I'm like, then why did I just walk through a warehouse?
No.
You're gonna ship me a box?
And not even going to ship it to you. You go downstairs
It's
and
in
you
the
go
basement.
down the aisles and pick up the box, and you take the box of unassembled
They don't even
merchandise
pick
home.
them out
there was
for you.
there was nothing about that experience that said, Al, you need to go back to that place. Never again.
What if we went and got drunk and played hide and seek?
Now I'm back on board. Now you've made it interesting.
I do enjoy the lunch there, though. I have the Swedish meatballs. It's good. It's a good time.
I may or may not be organizing this on Facebook.
Do go right ahead. I actually go. I go with Michelangelo. He and I go because he knows it right at the back of his hand. I don't know if it's a youth thing and they just grew up more with it. They understand it because I'm like, no. What is it?
Money.
Trying to talk. Sounds like what is it? Charades. Cat Carlson, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you
Mute.
My
asking?
mouth is full of cheese and crackers, but I was trying to say it's a youth thing because it's a money thing because it's inexpensive furniture.
Oh, it's
that doesn't
hugely
look,
inexpensive.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's grocery Marco Polo, so I can only imagine that IKEA hide and seek would be just as entertaining.
I think
And
so.
if I had been in the IKEA drunk, it might have been a different experience than
It
a
is.
brightly lit fucking warehouse with
Yeah.
industrial lighting.
Multi-level warehouse.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And I know that Harrison wasn't the one that brought me there, even though I was in San Diego. It was some other fool. Not that Harrison's a fool, but she, that's kind of like give me olive mix. Like that dog don't hunt. And whoever it was just thought I was gonna have the best fucking time.
Well,
And I was like, oh.
Did they just meet you?
No, and that's why I have erased them from my memory. They have been
seriously.
deleted from the friend bank.
They no
Wow.
longer exist.
all right, we'll toss it to Ryer.
Well, and I've decided to change some of my stories just because I can do that. So there was, well, the Coke and a Smile story we're gonna keep because really, if you're going to steal things, maybe don't make it cremains and think it's cocaine.
I feel like I should write this.
Somebody's snorting grandma?
Well, they almost snorted Dad, I believe. Some idiot kids from St. Peters, Missouri were arrested recently
Idiot
after
kids.
burglarizing a home last November. Amongst their pilfered loot, they ran away with an Xbox 360, prescription drugs, jewelry, and the ashes of a dead guy. The cremains of the homeowner's father that were stored...
Cremains.
I didn't know that was a thing.
They are. Stored in a wooden box were thought by the 15, 16, and 17-year-olds to be cocaine.
These are some stupid,
No shit.
stupid children.
Either the kids have never seen cocaine before, or whoever runs the crematorium in their town is making a mint.
How old were the kids again?
15, 16, and 17.
Come on, at least one of you seen Scarface.
No.
Should
Well,
Not-
the kids
no.
realized during
Why
their getaway that they had stolen the last remaining evidence of this man's body. It's unclear how much of the deceased found his way into the teenager's sinus cavity.
Oh my
Before
god.
the kids got wise and asked themselves, what would a dumbass do?
Well, return Dad.
They threw the ashes out the window of the moving car.
Yeah.
Well, now he's all over that small
Now,
town.
yeah, well,
They've spread his ashes.
they
Yeah,
have.
see, they've done a great
For
service.
those that might not remember,
Could be
that's
worse.
what-
I could have taken him to IKEA.
It's real similar to what
Left him
Lorena
in an armoire.
hide and seek. Come
Took him
find
into
me.
harsh lighting.
Just
gotta
put him
find
in the
me.
bottom drawer of the Flugel dresser.
The flugel.
And write down number X5432 and go
Yeah,
find it.
throw a
Bin number
meatball in
3.
there so Grandpa doesn't get hungry in the dresser.
The boys would have gotten away with it too if it not had been for those meddling kids. Lorena Bobbitt did something similar. You know, if you remember with John
Well,
Bobbitt's wee wee.
it wasn't an ash full of
Well, no,
dick.
they were
That's
able to
backwards.
put that
But
back
anyway.
together. All right. They were. They would have gotten away with it if one of the kids hadn't gone online with the Xbox, and then the cops were able to track them down.
No, of course.
And find them through an IP address.
And one of them posted a picture. Is this cocaine?
Look, I'm snorting Papa. That's what we call it now.
Oh my God.
Snorting.
15 and 16.
Snorting Papa.
I'll snort Papa.
I'm writing that one down.
The 15
Papa,
and
can you
16
blow me? No,
Papa,
that's not.
can you breathe?
That's wrong.
The 15 and 16
Papa, get me
year olds
high now.
were referred to juvenile authorities, and the 17-year-old was charged with burglary and theft of 2 counts. None of them were busted with possession of narcotics, though. So,
Right.
you know, that's the good news
so-
for them. Less time.
I would have liked to have seen, you know how on Forensic Files and different shows they show the interrogation room footage where they're getting the explanation, and the person finally, after 17 hours of berating, comes clean about what they did. What I'd like to have seen is the investigators. Okay, what did you do with you took a box? Remember the box? Yeah, we took a box. Yeah. So what'd you do with that box? And what did you think you were stealing? And then when they explain, well, we just dumped it out. Oh. And then the
Murder.
Of course it was murder.
No,
It's
Papa
always
was
murder.
dead.
That's right.
It's a dry
I sneezed
heat.
and blew Papa.
Papa died on Tuesday.
We snorted him on Wednesday.
The poor family though, when
Got
they're like,
hamburgers on
I
Thursday.
shit him out on Friday.
Dad's somewhere on Main Street between 3rd and 7th Streets.
It was really his favorite stretch of road.
Everybody, go get a broom. Get Daddy. Get Daddy.
Scoop him
The
Oh,
fact that they just like threw it out the window, though, it's like,
Now it's got twigs and berries in it.
yeah, well, he may have let it go. So,
we might have
Let
to
it go.
sift Dad before we
Yeah.
put him back together.
oh, that's a piece of glass.
Just pick up the obvious for me.
That's damn cigarette butt.
Oh my God. Well,
Fine, sir.
okay. Well, an argument between a 64-year-old man who wanted a Budweiser and his friend who handed him a bush beer instead.
Those are fuck you
come on.
words.
It ended
Get
horribly when the disgruntled beer recipient shot the other man in the arm, wounding him in a Louisiana parking lot. The incident, which occurred on March 7th of this very year in the New Orleans suburb of Harvey, resulted in Clarence Sturdivant shooting his neighbor Walter Merrick, who, by the way, was 66, or is 66, shot him in the arm when Merrick, sustaining wounds that were not life-threatening, said Colonel John Furtono, spokesman of the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Witnesses told police that the incident, which began with Sturdivant and Merrick arguing over the respective merits of the beer brands, it just went crazy and escalated out of control when Merrick pointed a gun at Sturdivant, who was holding a Budweiser, then firing a shotgun in self-defense back at Fortuno.
Like you do.
Sturdivant was not charged in the incident, but was arrested on an unspecified, unrelated charge. Fortuno said that while Merrick was cited for aggravated assault, Fortuno said police did not recover any weapons. So what in the hell? That was my favorite line. They didn't recover any weapons. What? Did just you threw the guns in the lake after
Seriously.
you were? I don't know what happened.
With the cremains.
Mix it well. Mix it well.
Goddamn guns.
I still have not had a cronut.
Well,
Now that we're talking about pop-up.
I feel like we should fix that.
how did...
It's a croissant and a donut.
Well, because I was
sounds
saying the last
amazing.
time I heard like craisin, cremains, cronut. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know that I've ever heard all three of them together.
well, now you have.
Well, there you have it.
Welcome
That's
to
true. Yeah.
Welcome to it.
So we'll get some
Welcome in.
craisins.
it. Been missing ya.
Where's Daddy?
I don't know.
He went on a little road trip.
Hello. I wonder if the same thing like that little girl in the car, where they heard she was the little girl who was in the river with her mom and all the firemen
The
say that
disembodied
they could hear
voice.
like, help me. Maybe that'll happen with the dad too. I'm over here. I'm over here.
What you just said in regards to the thing, again, they asked him what they did with the ashes. If it was a smart aleck kid, he'd go, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
My dad is blowing in the wind.
And it's part of a
That's it,
nasty
that's
sinus infection that Chuck has.
He was in the back seat.
Well, as you do, you don't want to blow up your own house.
No.
That sounds
So
dumb.
you create a meth lab in a Walmart bathroom in Muncie,
Yes.
Muncie, Indiana
Indiana.
made the news.
Made the news.
Okay.
I'm
made
just
the
thinking,
news.
isn't every Walmart bathroom just a meth lab?
Well, in a lot of ways, it could
Okay.
be considered that,
if
because
I understand the assignment correctly, yes.
well, because people that are making these methamphetamine labs, it's deadly explosive chemicals in public places, and they return later to finish the project so that they don't blow their own house up, apparently, which, I mean, smart,
Sure.
I suppose. Good thinking, to a degree.
I watched all of Breaking Bad. I feel like this is a good idea.
I have not seen Breaking Bad.
I'm into it.
But I've understand
I have this
that-
expertise, and I
Yes,
approve this
You
message.
approve this message.
My
Ken Carlson
my
Memorial
is-
Meth Lab.
My name is Dr. Ben Carlson, and I approve this message.
Apparently, an employee saw someone an employee of Walmart, alerted police after seeing a man he described as suspicious at Walmart.
At
Really?
Walmart?
Come on. At 11:30 at night, get out of
Potentially
Dodge
toothless,
or
nervous, and
Muncie.
itching a lot.
Twitching.
That's
A
their
ne'er-do-well.
entire
Walked in
demographic.
with a backpack to the bathroom. Walked out without a backpack.
May have been a manager.
Now that's a new situation at Walmart. Usually you
Correct.
walk in with the empty one,
Right.
walk out with
a
luggage.
A lot of
Yeah.
stuff. That's correct. Tyler Armstrong, 25, of Muncie, was arrested then instead of at the Walmart at the Taco Bell on South Madison Street. He tried to resist arrest, but was subdued and taken into custody.
He tried to resist, but he was so enthralled with it, he just surrendered.
Okay.
I have tried to resist arrest for so long.
I can't any longer.
Now,
When will our eyes meet?
When will
When
our
can
meth lab
I touch you? When will the strong yearning
end.
end?
When will my meth
When will you arrest me again?
go again?
That was our Barry Manilow moment
like
of the
that. It
night,
was
for those
nice.
of you caring.
It was very nice.
Continue on.
So the Indiana State Police said they discovered this meth lab, and the tools used to cook up the dangerous and highly addictive drug were found in the backpack that was left sitting in the men's room. The discovery was originally made by this cash register who saw this unsightly.
cash register?
The person at the cash register.
Cashier, perhaps.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm like, are you on meth? You thought the cash and the crime was solved by the cash register.
What the fuck is it saying? Meth. Where is it, Lassie?
Wait.
Is Timmy in the well?
This story comes from Indiana. Say no more. Say no more.
Yes, we need sound bites from that show because he is just.
He is hysterical.
Oh my God.
Say no more.
I don't know a lot about meth.
Yeah, well, myself either.
But-
That's why I can't pronounce cash register. Person.
What I'm always taken by
Dark time.
with a meth story is, why would you ever think that boiling down or heating up something, you wouldn't drink Clorox or lighter fluid or cleaning supply? Why makes you think that boiling it down in a spoon makes it tolerable and actual? I don't get it.
Yeah, because they're truly putting in everything under the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's just
That's why it made so much sense on
crazy.
Breaking Bad, because he was a chemist.
Sure.
So he knew how to make the good shit.
He did the best kind.
Oh, okay.
99%
Now I understand what
he was
you
a
were.
high-
Never
Yeah,
paid attention.
because he was a high
Okay.
school chemistry teacher.
So it was
was actually-
purer than...
He was
the
a
shell.
brilliant chemist who missed his shot to be a bazillionaire chemist and was merely a high school chemistry teacher.
Blah, blah, blah. We got to the same point, right?
The synopsis, according to Kat Carlson. Thank you very much. Jesus.
Story ended on the same sentence, isn't it?
Fuck this job. I'm
Papa's dead. Exactly. Grandpa's dead. We can't find the urn. Same
to
story.
Clayton's point, to Clayton's point, according to police, the corrosive acid had eaten through the bottom of the backpack and had leaked out onto the floor. So far, there have been no reports of illnesses because of this, but
It's dangerous.
that's
On
what
Breaking
you're
Bad, they
putting
had to wear-
into-
For the
that's what
employees
you're
that they keep locked under the bathroom, none of them were
For
harmed.
those that are snorting the bathroom floor, you don't know. What if you slip and fall on that corrosive acid? I burned my ass.
It's like Woody Woodpecker.
I was in a Walmart bathroom and my ass got burned. I don't think you're going to tell that story.
I feel like maybe no.
Well, you'll wait for a holiday.
Needless to say,
Oh, I can beat that story. Listen to this.
Break that out over Easter.
Yeah.
He has risen indeed.
Look at this red puffed up son bitch.
Nails in the hands. I got you beat, Jesus.
Get off the cross. I got
I got Walmart bathroom acid on my
Meth
ass.
ass burn I got going on. Son of a bitch.
Portions of tonight sponsored by Drano. Thank you very much.
and Sudafed.
I'm eating Jesus eggs right now, so
Oh,
I
good.
feel he and I are very close.
I nibbled on the Jesus eggs over the course of the week.
They're good times.
Yeah.
Would
you like a Jesus egg?
I don't. Nope. I already had 3. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
You had 3? That might be
When
something to talk to Mary
when
about.
are we doing the corned beef and cabbage or
Should we
whatever?
do it right after we get done with this?
We can do that. Yeah, because
Yeah, okay.
nobody listens to
Finish your
Al's.
fucking segment before you start making food.
Oh, all of a sudden you're like, calm down the food. Yeah, but she wants it during entertainment for sure. Well, shacking up is a crime in Florida.
Yeah.
And it gives a new meaning to the term partnering crime. But if you're not married and you live with a lover, you are committing a second-degree misdemeanor in Florida. Only one of 3 states with a cohabitation law still on the books.
So the Golden Girls were completely illegal.
Holy shit.
But they weren't proved to be.
It wasn't just the
intertwined.
shoulder pads, yeah.
Yeah. According to a 2010 census, Florida has about 549,000 couples living in this technically illegal manner among its 7.4 million households. Now, under the law passed in 1868, nothing like being on top of things.
Yeah.
This living arrangement could mean a fine of $500 or 60 days in jail. Now, my question is, if you like the person you're in jail with, aren't you cohabitating again?
Yeah, see?
It's like a cycle. Among all the other important things that Florida people are going to deal with, here is what Florida lawmakers will grapple with this year. 3 times in the last 5 years, legislators have unsuccessfully tried to repeal the law. Now, on Monday, however, lawmakers made it very clear that they are no longer shaken up by the idea of shacking up. I feel like a Bette Midler line.
If you're cracking up from having lack of shacking up, why don't you pack it up and find yourself a crazy kind of love? Oh, way, like a nooga's got me. Come on, I want to lay you.
Yeah.
Killing me.
Oh my God. Well, the repeal bill easily won approval on both House and Senate committees. Quote, is there anything in the bill that would make this apply retroactively? Asked Senator Jeff Brands, who's a Republican. He says, by the way, I'm asking for a friend.
When I was
Representative
in college, I cohabitated with another boy.
Representative Rick Stark, who's a Democrat from Weston, who is co-sponsoring the House bill, said that he had lived with his wife for about a year before they got married.
Sinners.
He said the, quote, antiquated law is rarely, if ever, enforced by police, but it has been used in other ways. It has been used for harassment, Stark said. If somebody is going to get a job that requires them to swear to uphold the law, somebody else can come along and say, hey, you're not upholding the law. You're illegally living with somebody. And it's been done before. In 2012, Hollandale Beach City Commissioner Keith London faced such a problem when he was accused of breaking the law during a mayoral campaign. The state's attorney office declined to investigate it, however. Representative Dennis Baxley, Republican from Ocala, Florida. Is it Ocala?
I think so, yeah.
Ocala, Florida, opposed the repeal in 2011 by saying, quote, I am not ready to give up on monogamy and a cultural statement that marriage still matters. After his, 70th divorce?
Yeah, fuck you.
But even he voted for it this time because, unlike previous bills, this one limits the repeal just to unmarried couples living together rather than repealing other parts of law that prohibit adultery. Yes, adultery is also illegal.
Is it? I just thought it was a commandment.
One of the people said that in Scripture, God's first institution was marriage, not cohabitation.
Oh.
Also, Michigan, Mississippi, and Florida are the three states that have those cohabitation laws. 7 other states have repealed laws similar since 2000. And North Carolina saw its cohabitation law overturned by its state Supreme Court back in 2006. So again, only 3 states.
How did it make it to 2006? Like, how did it make
Started
it through the
in
70s?
1898.
Yeah, but how did it make it through the 70s?
I don't know. Crazy.
They stopped enforcing ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah.
There's entire websites dedicated to stupid laws that are still on the books.
Oh, there is,
In
right.
South
Yeah.
Carolina kept the airline bottle of liquor industry in business because that only stopped being a law like in the
Nicely done,
last
Mom.
5 or 6 years.
Utah did it too up until the Olympics.
That they still served a
2002.
bottle?
Yeah, if you ordered a rum and coke, they had to open up an individual airline-sized bottle
Oh.
of rum, pour
A
it in,
single
and then
shot.
a single shot,
I
and
did
that way
not know.
you could not overpour because it was not available.
Utah was the same way. I
That's
remember going
fucking
out to dinner with my
ridiculous.
folks and my mom being served like a margarita and tequila on the side.
Wow.
Yeah, tequila on the side.
And to taste.
they changed their liquor laws specifically for the Olympics.
Oh,
Like
I
they
can't
got
believe
the
that.
Olympics bid and we're like, okay, we got to change some things here
Sure.
because
Because remember, FIFA did that to the World Cup people
Yep.
where they were like, okay, no beer in the stadium, things get crazy.
right,
And FIFA's
that's
like, oh, fuck you, we're getting beer in the
Right,
stadium.
right.
We're going to bring
Yeah.
the Faluva horns and beer.
And
We
then
need
they,
our liquor.
and then they wondered why is there all this violence? Because you brought the beer in the stadiums.
like how the Super Bowl
Absolutely.
opened up, downtown in the open containers
Right.
all over that. What was that, like 4 square blocks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nero has provided the stupid laws link.
Hey,
very good. Thank you, Nero.
Thank you. Some of, I mean, and this goes to just the idea of stupid, but not alcohol and things like that. But in Iowa, where the tall corn grows, where anyway,
Deep in the heart of Iowa.
Oh no, that's their song, Iowa. Anyway, they had a thing on the books in my mom's town of massive Eagle Grove, Iowa, that no one black could stay in that town. They had it on the books, like you could not stay overnight.
Just
and
passing
I don't know,
through?
this is a big trucker route. There's umphin trucking. There's all kinds of stuff right in Eagle Grove. And black people could not stay there.
No dark times allowed.
No dark times. No dark times.
But I mean, truly, they had, and it was
Unintentional racism.
You could not. And then a
Turns
black
out the
family,
SAE National Campus.
right? Black family decided to move there. I'm not sure why, and so that was on the books until 2003.
So, unbeknownst to them, this law was
2004.
lurking.
Correct.
Right.
But 2003 or 4, for the love of God, to have anything like that.
Well, hasn't Mississippi still not ratified the equal protection, the one in the last amendment? Isn't it Mississippi that's never?
Oh, there's that,
It's like
isn't there?
That would make
Alabama or
sense,
Mississippi
but-
still has not gotten around to doing that. Like
Really?
there's only 49 states have ratified
Oh,
that.
boy.
fucking
I know
ridiculous.
you only need 2/3, and they all became
Yeah.
ceremonial.
Ceremonious.
But they just didn't get on
Sarah
board.
Something.
The cashier did it. No, damn it, the cash
cash
register.
Cash
Damn
register
it.
did it. Bloop, bloop.
Damn it.
During dark time. It was during dark time.
Well,
Apparently, they didn't want any dark time down there.
I'm glad the dark times are back.
And now the end is near.
We call it dark time.
so in honor of St. Patrick's Day,
Hey!
let's talk about some gay St. Patrick shit.
Oh yeah! Oh, Boston!
Oh.
Welcome, Boston! Finally did done
welcome,
right.
Boston,
Ah.
absolutely. And New York, what the fuck?
Still no?
See, I don't
NBC.
understand the what the fuck.
The NBC part, because
No.
they allowed one gay group could march in the
You
parade.
can't let all the fucking homos in.
Because we'll take over and make it
We're
better.
gonna- It's Manhattan.
We're gonna segregate.
All of
but
a sudden, we don't need the parade in June because we've taken over the one in
That's
March.
correct. But de Blasio still would not walk in it, and City Council still boycotting because the unit that let it go that will
I'm gonna hold that unit as long as I can.
out at NBC Universal, which is a corporate group for gay employees at
Of
NBC
NBC,
Universal,
who broadcast the parade.
the parade.
Who have a rainbow peacock as their
Right?
mascot.
They were able, like cities such as Boston and Washington had gay groups in their St. Patrick's Day parade this year, but the New York one said, well, just you guys. So I guess people are pretty up in arms.
Who was the one group that
The NBC Universal. The out
not the
people.
not the gay vets?
No.
Oh, because the gay vets was the big deal in
They were
Boston.
in Boston.
Right,
yeah.
right. And so, but just so that everyone can feel better about it, gay people and gay groups can apply for the 2016 parade. So good. At least we have that. But
Apply.
otherwise-
We're not saying you're
We're
gonna get
applying.
it.
You
Yeah.
cannot get in. You may not get in.
There's an
But-
audition process. You got to make a quiche.
Well, and organizers of the New York
You got
parade
to do your
had
own
long-
version of the Lion King
They had-
if Disney allows it.
Right.
They had long refused. New York Parade had long refused entry to gay groups based on the Roman Catholic opposition to homosexuality. The parade is steeped in Catholic tradition.
Even the Pope's not on board with
Cardinal Timothy Dolan is this year's
that.
Grand Marshal.
He's the
He's the
religitard of all
religitard.
time. Yeah.
And I'm going to even do the religitard thing. You're right. The church, while not revising its doctrine, has become more welcoming under Pope Francis.
Frankie.
Under.
He's our boy. Yeah, get under
That's
it.
right.
Get it, Frankie?
So,
And
organizers...
for once, we don't mean that about little boys.
I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
For once, we mean that just as is. Take it at face value.
Institutional rapists are casting aspersions. Is that the right word? I don't even know.
Sounds like a good word.
What the hell is aspersions? I'm going to look it up.
So,
It's the town with the
It
A
really
that has
was-
the.
Shoots right out of you.
No, that's Arco Santi.
Oh.
Are you thinking of Arco
there you
Santi?
go.
No, it turns out Anthem was a planned community, but they gave it up. It was a Del Webb planned community but they still have like the daycare and all that shit. They just didn't go whole hog on it.
That was a
Fair point.
flashback to
Carry
the
on.
Continue.
Anyway, that was all. It just was an interesting piece because here in New York is like, yes, gays can be in the parade, but just this many.
I love that
See,
they
and
went
I-
with the NBC Universal. Now, who is still against gay vets besides John McCain? But really, he's just screaming, "Get off my lawn!"
New
and I want to
York
invade
and
Safeway.
the
But
Catholic
at the
Church.
same time, like, does anybody know how many other groups they turn away from the parade? Like, does everybody that applies get into the parade? Like, is it like the Phoenix parades? You know what I mean? Like, are there other
we
groups
could
that are
look
turned
that up.
away? Because
there are a couple other groups that get denied from both,
Like the Nazis and
there's
things like that,
There's
I'm
a
sure.
there's a couple of really offensive
Sure.
groups that get
Right?
denied.
I mean-
but the Boston one, it was the first time the Boston mayor has marched since like '94 or '95, which I didn't realize that we'd had that kind of solidarity for that long.
No.
But they had two groups. They had the gay vets, and then they just have a regular out and
looking
proud
up.
gay people.
It was Boston Pride.
The Boston Pride
Boston
group.
Pride,
So that was pretty
yeah,
all
that's
inclusive.
right.
Like you didn't have to work for NBC Universal to get in. But
Right.
And DC has always been inclusive, and I didn't realize that. I thought that was fantastic.
Gayest
They've
town in
always
in the
the
No,
entire
but-
city
but
and the
it's-
entire country.
But it's the idea that they've always been inclusive. I
Yeah.
mean, so and nothing's happened.
I just love that they win
mean-
elections like 91-6, and then the other 3% are like write-in candidates for Titus Andromedus.
All right, we are doing the sweep into hour 2. We're coming right back at you. I actually have a leprechaun story, courtesy of Tim Hattrick, who told me just this past Saturday, that ties right into your story about gays and such in parades. I'll share that because he didn't tell me I couldn't. We're going to continue on to the headlines. Al's going to give us a drinking word in just minutes, and then we'll have entertainment and other stuff. Stick around. Don't you want me, baby? I don't know. Fuck it.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening again, everybody. It is top of hour 2. This is Studio C. I'm Clayton McKee, along with Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We join you each and every Tuesday night for 3 fun-filled hours of love and tenderness. Well, one of those things are usually
Keep your
involved.
hands off me.
Stop it, Al.
We are in the middle of our headlines segment, but before we get into any other frivolity, we've got to take care of a little business, and it usually starts like this in the middle of the beginning of hour 2. So please stand by.
And now, a drink-along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Blarney!
No.
I thought you were going to do something similar to that, is what I thought you would do for this.
I was going to go with Brigadoon, but I
that.
can't remember if that's in Ireland or not.
Blarney?
I thought that was a ship.
No, the Brigadoon is the musical where they get lost in the magical place and they do stupid shit.
Magically
Right.
delicious. Don't know. Blarney's our drinking word.
Blarney.
All right. Well, I will
In
share.
my mind, that means bullshit, but I don't know what I was trying to Google what it means.
Before we
That's what it meant. Yeah.
before we carry on with our headline segment, which I have,
But I'm hoping they don't go and kiss the bullshit stone. My sister kissed that thing or touched
Blarney
it.
stone?
What do you lick it? What do you do with that thing?
You have to like
Or
hang
did they
upside
say
down
kiss
and
the
kiss
Blarney
the
stone.
thing.
You got to kiss it there. You puck it up and give it a big old smack it right on the kisser.
Can I just shake its hand? I mean, we got to be that.
You can do a fist bump for it. You a fist bump
Does
for
it
it.
smell like potatoes?
I don't know. There's no famine involved.
Sometimes I don't kiss people I actually love. Do I have to kiss the rock?
There's that.
Sometimes I've kissed things.
So the
What are the rules here?
So the St. Patrick's Day story that Tim Hedrick told on Saturday was that him and Willie were doing. They were part of the St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago, Green River,
fun.
the whole thing, yada yada yada.
That's
But
crazy.
but again, in Chicago, and this was I forget how many years ago.
They're fucking nuts.
They had
Yeah.
a ban on the gays marching in the parade.
okay.
So they had put out a call for they just had decided they wanted a leprechaun on their float. And
Should have made it
Don't
leprechaun.
we all?
and a girl called in to them and said that she'd be willing to do it, but she was a lesbian, and really she was against doing it
lesbian
overall because
leprechaun.
the gays weren't permitted to march in the parade. So she said, "I'll do it with one stipulation: as long as I can bring and wave a gay flag on the float, that's fine." They're like, "Do it. We're good. We're totally fine." So she shows up and she's in the leprechaun outfit. They called her a lesbicon. And his determination was that he thinks, and I remember my friend back home, Duke is a little guy.
Yep.
He's like, I think they're just more dense packed than other people because even though they're smaller, they weigh just as much as full-size people. He thinks all of that is just squashed down and they're the same weight as they would be if they were like 5 and 6
Just
feet
keep
tall.
push her down.
It just gets
Yeah.
more densely
Yeah.
packed in
Yeah.
the thing.
Sure.
But the fact that he said that they had the girl on the float, she was their official lesbicon, and she had her own gay flag.
That is fantastic.
I thought that was a
love
great
it.
story.
I love that.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, our final story in headlines. Do you guys remember a few months back, I told a story about a guy in Utah who was sunbathing nude in his yard, and there were no privacy like things it was a chain link fence, and new neighbors had moved in, and he got busted. Well,
Now there's a guy who's doing it at his front door.
Nope. The 77-year-old Utah man charged with lewdness after sunbathing nude in his backyard agreed to a plea deal on Tuesday, just today, that keeps his record clean as long as he wears a swimsuit from now on. Myron Lee Kipp pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges in Farmington, but under the terms of the deal with prosecutors, the pleas won't be recorded if Kipp stays covered for the next year. He will still sunbathe, but he'll wear his one-piece swimsuit, said his lawyer named Bill Albright. Kipp has been taking in the sun in the buff for 30 years, often falling asleep in his own backyard, and it wasn't a problem until those new neighbors moved in next door. Last year, police said children could see the nude Kipp from the church parking lot behind his house, which has a chain-link fence but without privacy slats, and it is located about 20 miles north of Salt Lake City. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything, but that's where he lives. When an officer approached him, Kipp said that he could do what he wanted in his own backyard, according to court records. Apparently not. He was arrested and then charged with 7 misdemeanor counts of lewdness, 4 of which involving a child. The case appeared headed for trial. They would have taken the jury on a trip to see the house, see the fence, the proximity of the church, blah, blah, blah. At one point, an arrest warrant was mistakenly issued for Kipp after an innocent docket entry stated that he had missed a court date, which he did not. The trial was canceled last week. Kipp today wore a t-shirt with a green argyle pattern with jeans and a St. Patrick's Day court appearance. He nodded and answered affirmatively in response to the judge's question and confirmed his plea was given under no influence by saying that I don't drink, smoke, or do anything else, Your Honor. A search of Utah court records show only a single traffic ticket for the man more than a decade ago. He said Tuesday that he's glad to have this case behind him, though he politely declined further questions. Judge Dave Connors also imposed a $250 court fee. He has a new court date to review the case in June. And another one set for next March, then everything will be dropped and dismissed from him. So there's that.
Good
My
Lord.
God.
I feel like
77. Who wants to see that?
No.
Not even in the bright lights of IKEA.
That is Blarney.
No,
That's Blarney.
let it play hide and we won't see.
Yeah, I will not.
Exactly. He's
You
gonna
hide.
win. There's a winner.
I cannot.
I know who the winner is.
I don't. Yeah. You, sir.
You just won.
You, sir.
May I just? It's something that Mr. Perkins had put on Facebook, something that he had liked, and I looked further into it.
Sure.
Concerning Representative Emily Virgin, who I am now in love with.
Good time.
Oh.
Yes.
Is the state Oklahoma? Are we back in? Are we back in the
Uh-huh.
constantly in the news Oklahoma?
We're
All
back
right.
in Oklahoma.
Talk more.
tell me
there-
more. Tell me more.
So there is a
Did he have a car?
Did you get very far? Emily Virgin stops Oklahoma's freedom to discriminate bill in its tracks because of bigot advertisement provision. Okay, so what they were trying to get this state. The Oklahoma is the latest state that wanted to make a law allowing businesses to openly discriminate against LGBTQ patrons.
Or discriminate. Either way.
Right. Upon so-called religious freedom.
Okay.
To
Blarney.
religious freedom, which of course all non-bigoted people know is code for I'm a raging homophobe.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's
Sure.
all that it is.
Sure.
I'm not even sure it's code. I'm pretty sure it's just
It's just
synonymous
there,
at this
right,
point.
right.
Is there a hanky code that
Straight
goes
up,
along
tell
with
me that you love me.
Tell me
Anyway,
that
so
you-
it's not going to go near the governor's desk anytime soon because of Emily Virgin. Virgin knew exactly what the fellow lawmakers were trying to do, and she's a whole lot smarter than they are. So she told them that they could pass the bill, but only after she amended it to make sure every bigoted business owner in the state would be forced to own their bigotry by putting it front and center. Her amendment to the bill would allow their, quote, religious freedom discrimination, but only if the businesses advertise the fact that they are raving bigots far and wide. Notices of this discrimination
Wow.
would have to be put on the websites, social media pages, and shop windows of everyone who wished to take advantage of the bill by turning away people based on actual or perceived sexual orientation, gender identity, or race.
And they had to actually state what they were discriminating against. They had to put
Brilliant.
gay, transgendered, like what it was, who they
Black
were,
people,
who they wanted to
Jews.
Who
turn
they were
away-
offended by.
who they were offended by. So that was the thing. Oh boy, did that bill just died. And she
I
said,
like
I will
it.
attach this to every single piece of legislation you put before this committee on this topic. The clause will be, then you got to stand up and say so. And I was like,
Oh, I agree. That's
and
fantastic.
I'm like,
Fantastic.
it's just genius.
Well, and
I'm on
the
board.
best
And I-
part
I-
is
I-
they
avoid
don't
that-
want a bigot doesn't want to be called. Well, I'm not a bigot.
I'm not a bigot. I mean,
I
I
just
just says
don't
it on my
like-
website, and I have a big sign in the
Right,
window,
right.
but clearly I love Jesus.
I give all my money to
I have
XYZ,
his
but
nuts right here.
eggs.
Eggs.
Eggs right here.
You got Jesus nuts?
It's
I
all
call
written in
Blarney.
Aramaic. I don't know if it said nuts or eggs.
That's a whole
That's
new
really
CNN.
awkward.
That's a new CNN special. If you've got
Some
Jesus
Blarney.
nuts.
I call Blarney against this
Blarney.
bill.
Blarney.
God.
But I really thought that it was something
Oh, I
important
like
to,
that.
to
If
bring
you
up.
if you want to be I can't even think of the words. I'm so frustrated.
bigotard.
A bigotard. I
A
like that.
bigotard.
I like it.
If you want to be a bigot, that's fine. But you're gonna goddamn well put it in your
Yeah.
window and tell everybody.
We'll sign the bill.
Yeah.
It'll pass.
Yeah.
But this is what you have. If in fact you're going to use religious freedom to discriminate, this is what you're going to put in your window.
I think that should be
Brilliant.
national.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everyone put up in the businesses here in Arizona when it started open to business for everyone, that everyone made a big deal out of. Whoever made those signs made a quick, fast fortune
right,
and then
that's
retired
right.
next week to
You know where they say to open for
Pablo
business to
St.
everyone?
Lucas, if that's a
no,
place.
do you know the story behind those signs?
What now?
I
He made them
honestly
for
don't.
free. You could go pick up any fucking one you want. He made them all for free. It's the Alpha Graphics on
Oh
Central.
my God, I love it.
God damn
How
it. Capitalism
fantastic.
fail. Epic Blarney.
No, but look at this. I love it.
Oh, even you got one?
I've got two of them right there.
I love it.
This is what was
and
in
a tramp
this is,
stamp above his ass that
this-
says the same thing.
This is you're funny. So for those of you in Arizona, they were trying to do this bullshit thing where businesses could discriminate, and then they came up with these signs that all the businesses put in their all businesses put in their windows.
Many businesses.
But one of
Many,
the Alpha Graphics here in town locally made all these, and they were free, and they were handed out to everybody. So I actually keep meaning to put them up here in the studio. But
That's fantastic. How cool.
well, close
I
enough.
love it.
You held it up for somebody.
I love it.
So as long as you watch show number 275,
two,
whatever this
207.
is.
Yeah.
We should put it right under
Same
the sign. I
song.
like it. Yeah. That's
fun.
fantastic. But I just wanted to bring that up. I saw that you
You realize
had,
the camera's over there, though.
No, I know, but just
Okay.
that way it's up and we can see
So
it.
it's open for business for you, is what you're saying.
Totally done.
Totes open.
Totes open. Totes open.
Well played. But I thought that was such an important story.
And Dozy
I
Oaks.
really-
It really, and it was like a surprising little, and you know that just pissed them off because they were outthought by some non-Christian. You know what I mean?
And she's young. If you
That's good,
if
though.
you put in Emily Virgin in Facebook, you can like her page. I just went on and liked it. She looks like she's incredibly young and just spunky to stand up and.
She's on Facebook?
Yeah, and you can like her page. I went on immediately, and I was like,
And my friend
She's awesome.
Jane from high school, and a really
Ooh,
funny
look at
thing,
her.
she put a funny comment at the bottom that I didn't get. I read it like twice,
Okay.
and I didn't get it. She's like, she just wants her name on every sign because it'll say "open
Virgin?
only to virgins." And I was like,
That's
I don't
cute.
get it.
I liked it. Look at her. She
cute.
looks like a little lovely lady there.
doesn't she? She looks really
Simple
young.
hairdo.
So okay, so we'll just keep the news stories going about young legislators. So Aaron Schock
Yes.
was
Shocking.
Illinois.
was shocked.
Shocking.
Okay, now this is the tard. A couple months ago, we had his story, and I just assumed he was an older guy because of how stupid the story was.
Right.
He's
Okay.
33.
We talked about
Yeah.
he's the one that had the media specialist that it turns out had the whole big Facebook page with all the like racist rants on
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay.
And it went on, and I just read his name and assumed he had to be some old white guy that didn't know how to use Twitter.
Right.
So that's why he hired this idiot. He's 33 years old, and allegedly he's a little light in the loafers. For his on-staff photographer that he pays to take pictures of him everywhere, and it's another blonde cutie. But this guy, he's really fucking cute, and he's been on like Men's Fitness.
He's
and-
got a huge Instagram following.
Oh.
But all of his because he Instagrams everything. He's another one of he's like the dumb criminal that Instagrams. So he makes people pay for his travel, saying it's business related, and then there's pictures of him surfing. He did the Tom Cruise thing where he was in the wind tunnel. That's the congressman that did that. That picture was famous for a long time of the congressman that was on the
Wow.
airlift.
Yeah.
So it looks like
I
you're
did not
flying.
realize that was him.
It was
Right.
him. But all these things, he said he was at business conferences and charging people money. So he decorated his office like downtown, like something out of Downton Abbey a
I
few
do
months
remember
ago.
that.
And
Yes.
he got caught, and he was trying to avoid the interview with CNN, and he went on camera, and they're like, "Well, who paid for that?" So I just did a little reading on this kid. He's been a little worker for a long time. He was elected to things in his teens. He was on all kinds of debate teams. He got into college while he was still in high school. He was on the school board when he was still a teenager. Ended up the youngest person ever in Illinois, their House of Representatives, the state House of Representatives. He was the youngest. member of Congress for a long time. He's the first congressperson ever born in the 80s.
So he's doing.
But he had a long record of like doing some kind of impressive things. He's a Republican. He was he's considered very conservative, but he had a kind of an impressive record of like getting some shit done. Obama tried to court him at one point. To get him to go for the TARP Act, but he didn't end up voting for it. But because of the people that were affected in Peoria, which is his district, like Obama ended up taking this little 20-year-old out to lunch and getting like press and getting like photo ops with him. Like this was a rising star that just forgot about. He's one of these people that's too stupid to figure out social media. Like that's got a time and a date on it.
Yeah,
but and you'll love this. Is the thing that undid him? First, it was the Downton Abbey thing. He swore he never saw the show because I think the gay rumors were starting. So he had to separate himself from like British queer shows, right? And all that blarney,
because the gays do love the Downton.
Yeah, the gays do love the Downton Abbey. So he's been claiming travel expenses, mileage expenses for his private car that he drives, and he claimed 170,000 miles on it. Well, he traded it in, and he bought it with 4 miles, and it was so easy to find because it's all public knowledge.
How many miles were on it when you traded it in?
81,000
miles. But he built the first group of people for like 120,000 miles, and then he built the next group for like 40,000 miles, and then he traded the fucking car. No, bitch, you bury that with Grandpa on the side of the road. You know what I mean?
Well, he also did campaign events and improper payments for Bears games.
And he went to he goes to the Wynn Hotel in Vegas. He's at 5-star resorts everywhere. But he always takes his picture with the
she's having a good time.
And he's really fucking cute, and he's got this hot rockin' body. And he's always half naked. Like there's the photographer that he pays surfs next to him and takes his picture. Like it's a full on like Sports Illustrated action shot. That surfing picture is so professionally done, and it's just about his ass.
I should hope so because he paid said photographer
his boyfriend
$50,000 in the last quarter of 2014, listing him as personal expenses.
Oh
yes.
My!
Yeah, Lincoln Company chalk on a trip to India last August, sponsored by the Global Poverty Project.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the Global Poverty Project.
Call Blarney.
Well, he's total one of his, and then one of his major donors bought his private house, his residence, and paid 3 times the market value for it, so he could have like campaign finances that he didn't need because he's 33, right? He's born in 81, so he'll be 34 this year, I think. Mm-hmm. This kid had a shot to be in this district. He's like the Elizabeth Warren of the House of Representatives. Like they were going to run him for governor, and he said, "No, I can pretty much have this shot," and legitimately said it. Like,
I'm good where I am.
No, he probably thought it. He didn't really like say it to it like I'm saying it, but in his mind was probably thinking, "I've got this seat in the conservative part of Illinois for the rest of my life.
I can milk this cow until I'm John McCain's age," is what he's saying.
Right, and be very effective. And it was a stellar career. I mean, he's
only 33 and was already in his 4th term at Congress.
4th term. That's
that's like 8 years.
But if you read the things he was elected to, like starting with the school board, where he went and said, "You need someone that's actually been in school recently to be on the school board," and he won by all his elections are huge landslides. Like he was untouchable.
Tell me the name again.
Aaron Schock. Is it Schock?
It is Schock.
Schock. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Aaron. I mean, he's kind of like the little white, no, he's not that great and there's not much hope, but he is white.
I want to see pictures of said.
Oh, he is attractive.
Oh, yes, I remember her.
Yeah.
I remember her. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he wears a suit. Like, that guy knows how to wear a suit. I was reminded of,
Barney, he probably knows how to wear a harness and has to be strapped down. I'm sure he knows how to do all that, too.
I mean, I'll take a turn on the wheel. I'm not lying.
Oh, yeah. Spin the bottle, pick a wheel. Yeah. Oh, there's the surf
Neil Patrick
shot.
Harris and How to Meet Your Mother.
Yeah.
Those are nice suits.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no getting around it.
That's
but
cute.
that's a good looking man, and his photographer is taller and hotter. But it's just a funny fucking story.
Funny.
He went belly up today with like no fight whatsoever. Yeah. Like he didn't try to ride this scandal out at all.
Just rolled over and took it like New Jersey.
He just bailed out as soon as they started asking questions. Actually, his quote.
What can you say? What could you
But he's got a full career ahead as a motivational speaker or a mega church pastor, looking like that and being slightly gay. You know what I mean?
Or as Anthony Robbins Jr.
Right, I said mega church.
That's a good point.
Tony
is it
Robbins.
Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins.
Tony
yeah.
What's he
Robbins.
sell?
No, he's the motivational guy.
Oh, he's a
He's a
self-esteem
motivational guy.
fucker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Same
Same
song.
song.
Just really good looking, standing up there and,
Did you
making everybody
Did you have
buy
a follow up
the
on that,
stuff.
Kat?
Just his quote from his statement this morning that said, "Constant questions over the last 6 weeks have proven a great distraction and has made
Gay.
it too difficult for me to serve the
But
people
cute.
of the 18th district."
Yeah.
And like
Mostly
his car,
because my money train is slowed down.
Yeah. Because it takes a lot of cash to look
like
this
this.
good. Yeah.
We just had to cancel the trip to Dubai.
Yeah. Oh.
The
Fuck it.
poverty people were
And
paying
really,
for it.
and why would you go if your photographer can't go and show? It's like going to the gym. If you can't post about it, you'd never happen.
But the best
no
part
one
is,
straight is
No, I
wearing
remember
that.
seeing that from the story.
Right.
no.
Yeah.
I am
No
sorry.
straight guys
When you're
wearing
dressed
that.
like an Italian restaurant tablecloth, you are gayer than Christmas. You are gayer than cannoli. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
blue
remember that
ribbon or
particular.
blue
That in
sash.
Can
particular.
we get cannoli next week and this little delivery of food and drink that's coming?
I don't
Oh my
know.
God,
Make
I fucking
requests.
I don't even know
Cannolis.
if the gentleman who's bringing us food is still listening or not. But
How pushy are we allowed to be with this?
He did. He did text me to tell you that he will be outside at 10:30 at 5 looking for autographs.
Why does bitch get all the autograph requests?
So
My unique voice, unique New York.
I counted wrong on my story from earlier.
Blarney.
But this
Blarney.
this
Fucking Blarney.
this is our final
Have
headline
you
of the
met my
night.
friend Blarney?
And I'm going to put a link in the chat room right now. I just put a link in for the picture of that coincides with this story. A California man spray painted his face black in an effort to camouflage himself and evade police. A Madera Police Department
Yes!
spokesman told ABC News just today. But, however, the camouflage was ineffective. For those of you watching, I will post the picture on the video feed. There is the same picture that's in the chat room. The suspect,
It's just as pretty there as it was here.
Jose Espinoza, 23 years old, was arrested on Saturday night facing charges of possession of stolen property, theft of a vehicle, and I'm going to guess huffing paint. Just kind of.
Does he have his last name tattooed across his back?
Well, why wouldn't you? That's what they all do.
And his home address in case
Or
he
is
gets
it just
in case he
spray
gets
painted?
high from the fumes.
I'm gonna have to get Austin.
I find that
Husband, we're getting tattoos.
I find that exceptionally helpful, so I know what last name to scream out. So you're writing the. Never mind. The suspect.
You're an idiot.
Whatever.
I like it.
Espinoza fled the first time
The
police
victim
arrived.
in this story is face down.
Barney.
But I've heard him pronounce European names, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah, that's true.
Espinoza, I pretty much got that.
All right.
Lopez.
Yeah, he hit that already.
Guadalajara. Whatever. Espinoza fled the first time police arrived at his house, but he
you were
was.
gonna say Espinosa fled the first time I tried to date him.
I haven't dated an Espinoza. He was successfully apprehended when he later returned to his home and was seen with black spray paint on his face. The spray paint bottle Espinoza allegedly used
Allegedly.
has been turned over as evidence. Now, Espinoza, let me get this picture off of our little screen so you can watch us again. Espinoza was booked into the Madera County Jail early Sunday, according to jail records. Now, a court date during which, when Espinoza will be expected to answer his charges, a court date is unknown at this time, and it is unclear whether or not he has painted himself into a corner or has legal representation.
Yeah, he just drew a black
Right.
box around it. Okay, I don't spend a lot of time looking at your tits, which is why I just noticed that leprechaun is throwing up a rainbow into a pot of gold. It's so vulgar.
It is.
It's fantastic.
It's
And
my
now
St. Patrick's
I will
Day
never
shirt.
look back there again.
Magically delicious.
Well, the first time
Well,
they were.
I appreciate that. I
Coming
don't
back,
spend-
they were.
I appreciate the interest, but I don't spend a lot of time looking at your tits. There you have it.
So
That's good.
So that leaves
Kinda
a little
smash
window
down and
of-
not be on display.
A window of tolerance open is what
Yeah.
that leaves.
right.
I'll allow it.
I'll
I'll allow it. Judges
Well
allow it.
done.
Judges ruled? Yes.
10.
All right. With 90 minutes still left in our show, we're going to turn everything over to Al Perkins with entertainment, and it goes a little bit like this.
My voice is back. That's entertaining. All right. So, all kinds of deaths this week. Kathy Griffith leaves Fashion Police. Another death, and then Jinx, the show that I've been bitching about, that is not on HBO on demand. It's only on Go, so I haven't been watching it. Solved a fucking
It
murder
really
this
did
week.
solve the crime.
And now it's like the hot news story of the week. God damn it, and Kimmy Schmidt.
Blarney.
And then we're going to talk a little bit more about the last 5 years because I got a couple more things to say on that topic. So we'll just start with Jeremy Jordan. Now the last 5 years.
I'd like to end with them too.
Yeah. We can all finish together on that one.
Warm apple pie.
So the last 5 years really douchey. It's Jason Patrick Brown, Robert Pate, Jason Patrick, Jason. It's a bunch of white people names all mixed together, and he's the he is the composer of said Jason Robert Brown. I think it might be his name. Anyways, he is the composer of said musical, and he had a little bit of early success with a show called Songs for a New World that gave us The Stars and the Moon, and everyone who knows like theater and cabaret has heard The Stars and the Moon at every cabaret performance ever. And it's his biggest show. He did Parade. He did The Bridges of Madison County recently. I want to say Honeymoon in Vegas is the one that's on Broadway now with Tony Danza. That's almost a hit, but the weather's kept them under. He had a little bit of success early, and it's the show the last 5 years is autobiographical. It's about him and his first girlfriend. He got early success as a songwriter. She was a struggling actress, and he actually wrote down their story, and she tried to sue him for being like, bitch, this ain't no story, this is our life.
It's our life.
And so he changed a couple things. But so if you watch the show, it's really a shitty, like it's a shitty thing to say about, like it's just a shitty portrayal of a woman, and he's just a douche in it. But the thing that sells it so well is Jeremy Jordan. Like I've just been listening to the show on a loop in my car.
Yeah, it's not a fairy tale.
No,
by
not
any
at all,
means.
yeah.
No, it's almost a tragedy, but nobody dies.
Yeah.
She might still, but you know.
But he's a dick, and to write this show and not realize that you're going to come across as
You're
kind of an
writing yourself
asshat.
as a douche.
Yeah. But that Nobody Needs to Know song and A Summer in Ohio just sell it, of like his belittling of her, like kind of making her funny, but they both are so good in this production, and you don't have to oversell it because it's not a stage production without a lot of sets, which is usually how it's performed. So you don't have to over-emote, and it's not a cabaret where you don't have the backstory and you got to like punch every line. You get these subtle deliveries, and the Nobody Needs to Know song where he cheats on her with an array of women.
A parade.
Is
Binders full.
Is so
Binders full of women.
So beautifully done, and the lyrics to that song. And I've always been kind of taken back by how much I dislike him.
Okay.
In the show, like just knowing that he wrote it about himself and he's a total douchebag. But now hearing Jeremy Jordan sing it, and not that the character comes across as any better, but that is just some beautiful writing about finding his own little corner, and here she comes with her armor to blow it apart, and he's gathering his battalions, and it's like just really good songwriting. So if you're in my car in the next couple of weeks, you'll be listening to songs from the last 5 years, and I realized I was missing the Talking Heads. Blarney!
Use your words, Al.
The cast register.
In the whole thing of like Tim and I not living together, all of the Talking Head CDs went obviously with him, and I didn't have any. And oh my God, what great music I was missing by not having that. Road to Nowhere, that's the song of the week, besides the last 5 years. But Road to Nowhere is just so much fun. So good. And then the deaths. We'll start with the deaths. So the guy that directed Still Alice, Academy Award winner Julianne Moore's movie, he was suffering from ALS, and he had he and his I think it was his lover of many years co-directed it together. Correct. Even though he was in late stage ALS. He just passed away, and very sad for the community. And his thing was he was going to direct this movie, come hell or high water, and whatever had to be done to accommodate it. And it was just interesting that with the Theory of Everything winning the other one with a famous story of ALS, and you see how much people can accomplish even though they're suffering from this disease. Here, the director of the movie about Alzheimer's is directed by someone with ALS and still gets it done, and his artistic vision came through. But unfortunately, after that, he just died this week. So it was a very, very sad loss, and the everything that I read about him was just very kind. Everyone's thoughts on him. And then the director of the Paradise Lost trilogy, which is the story of the West Memphis Three that were wrongly convicted of the murders and all the bad law enforcement going on down there, and the fear of the occult in the early 90s played into it, and the a mentally handicapped, mentally challenged. I don't even know what back then they said the word that I'm not allowed to say anymore, but that's what they called him back in '94.
You mean the first time you might use it properly, you're abstaining?
Yeah, because I guess I'm not allowed to say it then. But he's like a southern tard.
We call that a sotard?
Sotard. I'm sorry.
Sotard and Coke.
Totopes. So the confession was from somebody that was like borderline retarded.
He truly had I believe his
IQ was in the 70s, and they
67, 68, which is considered maybe even 73, but that would be.
And they kept him in a room for over 24 hours and just completely destroyed this kid. Until he eventually admitted, because he just wanted to go home. He was
I think
so
he said
afraid.
to him, "What do you want me to say?"
And they actually like told him what to say, and that was the confession that they got. And they put the older boy, they actually had on death row for like 20 years because not 20 years because they're out now, so like 18 years. Wow. But because of this trilogy of movies, it's the Paradise Lost trilogies. They're very hard to watch. And there are three of my favorite movies, and then there's the West Memphis 3, which is the final say on all of it. But anyways, this director who worked tirelessly to get these boys freed from this crime, this horrible crime that the killer has still not been found. But he passed away this week, and again, just an amazing.
I'm pretty sure it's that stepdad, that creepy,
weird
stepdad.
But that's only in. Oh wait, but this not the creepy one that had his teeth removed. He was exonerated.
No, I know, but that's the one that everything kind of like...
Right. But the first one points to him, and then the second one you find out it's probably the other one's stepdad.
Right. It's just weird.
Oh, my God. But amazing, especially if you like documentaries and you like true crime stories and stuff like that. These are three of the best movies, and then the kicker is the West Memphis 3, which kind of ties them all together. But you need to go on the journey of the Paradise Lost as you see them learn stuff with them. And eventually Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, they became the main financiers of the...
I didn't realize that. Okay.
They produced the West Memphis 3, but they became the big backers and started sending in money and experts in to be like, okay, clearly this fucked up.
Right. Well, because they chose three guys that weren't... One that severely was not...
and the other two are completely mentally fine, but they were sort of friends, but they made it sound like they ran in a pack and they were part of the occult and that they did all these
wore black,
ritual things. And the one kid, but only one of them wore black.
Yeah.
But the other one was bullied a lot, and they just lumped them together and said that they did this horrifying crime together.
Because they're from a different side of the tracks that, where people were like, well, it'd be easy to blame them. I mean, they're just white trash.
And the one kid was kind of in and out of... he was in and not trouble. He was just someone that everyone kind of watched. He was in and out of programs, but never really in trouble. And when they found the bodies and someone said, oh, that looks occult-like, because back then everyone was obsessed with the occult. Someone says, oh, Damon Nichols has finally killed someone. And they just locked in on him immediately. And it was just one of the people that had dealt with this kid because he wore black and he they said he was he was a Satan worshiper, and he wasn't. They were like, "What are you talking about?" He just listened to Morrissey and stuff, and wore black and dyed his hair black, and
didn't give a shit. So when they tried to talk to him, he'd be like, because he realized there's nothing I can say.
Yeah, and then he smiled and waved as the cop car was driving him away, and everyone's like, "He's a killer! Look at how maniacal!" He was like, "My mom and dad were crying."
Right.
He's like, I just wanted to smile and let them know I was okay. It's not a secret.
And he was a young kid,
and he's been in solitary confinement for 18 years, so he's almost legally blind and can't go in sunlight. And his oh my God, you got to see.
Oh
my God. So anyways, this, and I forgot to write his name, and my computer won't let me. The iPad won't let me go to places. So if somebody could find his name for me, that just died, Paradise Lost, the trilogies, and then Albert Maysles, I do not know how to pronounce his name. I can't remember, but he directed Gimme Shelter, the Rolling Stone documentary. But then for the gays, he is the one that started off trying to do a documentary about the Bouvier sisters and ended up visiting the childhood home that they both vacation home that they both love so much that we all know as Grey Gardens.
Yeah.
So Albert, who found he and his directing partner went to the home of Big Edie and Little Edie, started to do the interviews, looked around, and just gave up completely on doing anything about Jackie Bouvier's sister Lee. Mm-hmm. It was no longer going to be about them, just like how the documentary about the times of Harvey Milk was not supposed to be about Harvey Milk. It was supposed to be about the teachers' fight that was going on to fire gay teachers, is what the subject of that documentary was.
Right.
And when they found Harvey Milk, they were like,
This is the story.
The one guy said, I want to do a documentary about him. And the other guy was like, you're on your own. But if you think that's interesting. And then through the course of it, he was assassinated. But that documentary was only supposed to be about the fight to get gay teachers fired in California. And this was the same thing. It was supposed to be about something else. And when they met them, they're like, here's our documentary.
Stand by. This is where it's at.
So, I mean, this huge story and interesting lives, and one of the seriously one of the best documentaries.
Bruce
ever.
Sinofsky.
Grey Gardens?
Bruce Sinofsky.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the
just
West Memphis.
Yeah, just died. But so he died this week, and just a great contributor. And the Gimme Shelter documentary about the Rolling Stone concert, and think in '69. And it is another one. It's it's one of the great rock documentaries of all time. I'm a big fan of documentaries, in case you can't tell. And the other one, am I going to think of it? Am I going to think of it? Nope. I'll get it later. Mike Porcaro of Toto dies.
I saw that.
So, and I can't remember which of the, because there's two brothers. There's actually three brothers that were Toto. There was an original member, and Mike took over for one of the original members. Left back when they were towing the line. Love isn't always on time.
Right.
The early hits, but then before
Way
they got
early,
really big later, with Rosanna and Africa and all that stuff, Mike was already in the band. He wasn't part of the original lineup that most people don't remember, but they were really studio musicians. It was kind of a super band like Asia and the Buggles. Like, it was one of those groups that was not. They weren't really a group. They were studio musicians that worked constantly. They worked a lot. They worked a lot with Quincy Jones. They're on the Donna Summer album. They're on the Thriller album. They're on the Off the Wall album.
Oh.
They were all of them were just working musicians that just decided to get together and make this one first album. They had some success, and they would just come back, and eventually they became bigger than the bands that they were playing backup for. And the singers, and they had their own little run. But it was another one died, and Mike's brother, that was one of the original founders, died like 14 years ago. So now there's one brother left. But it's always, the story of Toto always just amuses me, that it was just a bunch of people who were working musicians, making money, just said, let's make our own album. We've been backing up these schmoes for long enough. Let's do this. They had one little hit in the late 70s, then they got a little bigger, and they changed the lineup, and then they just kept making music, and eventually like, oh wait, fuck, we're famous.
Well, did you say?
Is there any way that any of you could play backup for us?
Did you mention? I apologize because I was looking that thing up. That they had lost another band member just a year ago. Dennis Fergie Fredrickson.
Oh, I did not know
the
that.
former Toto singer died last January.
Oh, the singer. I didn't remember his name.
So,
and I can't remember what the brother was that really started the band. If his name was Steve. Because I know there was a Steve Porcaro, there's a Mike Porcaro, and I think the third one is...
I am on it.
Anyway, but they're all over. So if you're one of those people like me that reads the liner notes in every album, their names were everywhere on your albums from the late 70s and early 80s. They played with everyone.
Jeff
Porcaro.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, Steve, and Mike.
And Steve is dead or Jeff is dead?
One
of them put out a touching statement, one of them's dead.
But you can't guess which one's alive.
Allow me to look, because it's not saying right here. It's just saying that
Okay.
Steve died, or that Mike died January 15th. So
Yeah. Wow, that long ago?
March 15th. Okay,
I'm like, wow.
Sorry.
So the other documentary that, in case I haven't talked about it, and I'll talk about it today, and I'll talk about it again in a couple years, it's called Capturing the Freedmans, and you must see it. Capturing the Freedmans. It was supposed to be an innocent documentary about party clowns in New York City. Jeff died.
Sorry.
And Jeff was the most famous one of. Jeff Porcaro was like a famous guitarist. He played guitar on like every record you've ever heard of. His credits are just astronomical. Huh. Go back through all your albums from the late 70s
You've talked
and
about
early
this
80s.
Capturing the Freedmans before.
Capturing the Freedmans. So, supposed to be about a party clown gets a hold of the busiest party clown in New York City at the time and does an interview with him, and is so captured by his absolute weirdness and his absolute bizarreness that he starts to follow him more closely, and then finds out that the younger brother has been videotaping their entire lives for years and is happy to throw them all over. And it turns out they're serial child molesters.
Oh.
The party clown, the dad, the only one that's not is the brother that's videotaping everything. And because of the documentarian interviewing them, and they're so used to being on camera and talking on camera because of the brother always videotaping them, they have no filter, and they just admit to all these crimes. And it is one of the most shocking documentaries, and it's so entertaining. Not entertaining, it's horrifying, but you're riveted. Like, get the popcorn, you're going to love me for I saw it in the movie theater and just was like, what the fuck? And it's a few years ago, so it was back in the day where you were still like, why would you follow somebody with a camera?
Mm-hmm.
But the son is just he gets all the fights on camera, all the breakdowns, everything is on camera, just craziness. Kathy Griffin leaves Fashion Police, and in a really bizarre twist of a woman who's, I mean, she's bashed famous people predominantly and a couple of reality stars that kind of asked for it, but has just said that she was hoping they would change Fashion Police more to fit her style of humor and maybe go after more bizarre choices, but she was just uncomfortable with what they were expecting to do and that so much of it was written for them. And it turns out that line, that the skinny one, what's her name, Julianne?
Jana Rancic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never know her name.
I
But
know,
that was written for her by a guy, and they had time to change it, and they went with it, and they were all, it was all fake shock. The thing about the patchouli comment, and then someone threw in weed thinking that might be better or worse, and it turns out it wasn't the right fit for her. But she's kind of left it in a very, to me, what was a very respectful way for someone who just kind of bashes on people and is kind of like all of a sudden trying to like maybe backpedal a little on her image of like just saying shitty things about Gwyneth Paltrow that people take to heart, and like, and Nicole Kidman, and just the people, and not that anybody cares about these people really, but she spent a lot of her career bashing people. I thought she was a perfect choice, but she just kind of felt like they're in pretty dresses, they're okay people, why are we just bashing them? And you know what I mean? Like,
I always felt that Griffin tells more stories of people,
and that was kind of her thing.
Fit, yeah.
That just to say someone looked ugly was not her thing. She wanted a little bit more backstory of why.
How did you get to the mess you're in? Here's the story.
Right.
You started out lovely, pretty in a dress, and by the end of the night, you were wasted in a gutter.
Right.
That's a story that she could tell
with ass plants.
But it really does show you. And we talked about this right after Joan died.
Last week.
It is. Most people really didn't realize how much Joan was involved with. She knew fashion, she knew her timing, she knew all these people in a different way, and it really did show you, regardless if it was written or not, because obviously Joan would have had to approve her own lines, even though I think a lot of Joan's was just, she off the cuff, and she tried lines and she tried timing.
Yeah.
It really showed you that
they
that
were filmed live and edited, so she would get 3 runs at a joke, and then pick the right one. Which means that they edited around that line by her. And not that it was, again, it's not offensive. Like, I'm sorry, you're in dreads, patchouli, and weeds.
It's a thing.
It's
Yeah.
a Rastafarian. It's going to go.
We're going to go.
Lama, Shamla,
Yeah.
But I don't know that show. I don't think it can. It will never be the show that it was because you can't get Joan back.
Right. It was so centered, like it was so very Joan Rivers
and
centric.
The balance was a perfect balance, and it's just not going to be that way again. So it's going to just be different. But I thought it was respectful of her to bow out and be like, this is not. I'm not a good fit for this. This is not my deal.
And the fact that they all stayed so respectful of each other in the bowing out, like that. E didn't have a big fight with her. She didn't. Yeah. It wasn't a big like Twitter war. It was everyone. I was like, this is kind of new for Kathy Griffin too.
To not cause a brouhaha
take the upper road
on the way out.
That everyone took the high road of like, okay, this show may or may not go on, but we don't know. But Joan Rivers had a kind of comedy that, even though Kathy Griffin may be in the style of, it's not the same. And it turns out it's really not the same.
Oh. Yeah.
And one of the things that I always, oh my God, Jenny, capturing the Freemans, and then get back to me. MISSEYAL@AOL.com. You will die when you watch this movie. It's riveting. And now, speaking of docuseries and why you cannot live without HBO is Jinxed, which I have been very mad, and it's just because Sunday night is so full of so much fucking TV that you can't tape it all. Like, you just cannot possibly tape it all. So I was always hoping to catch Jinx on another night, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not chasing TV shows anymore. I have On Demand. I'm just going to find it on demand the next week and watch it like a normal, sane human being. On Demand has not carried it, and it has just been all over the news for this entire run. And then
just this weekend,
they arrest the guy who's the main topic of it, because it turns out in the documentary he confessed, and now he's in jail because he really did kill these people. And I'm like, what the fuck? And this dumb tard agreed to be interviewed the entire thing. He's on camera for the entire show. I think it was 6 episodes.
Well, he had to have known he was going to get busted then. Like, he had to have, like...
But he has this weird thing, and
He couldn't have been thinking he was still going to get away with it.
No, he did. His lawyers told him absolutely to not do this. He
Yeah.
was advised by everyone possible to stay away from this.
You might say something
But
that
the
will
one-
Then
incriminate
he's a
you.
psychopath.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
entirely
yeah.
too arrogant to
Totally.
realize the consequences.
Multi-millionaire guy.
I have to watch this now.
Oh my God! I
Fuck
saw
my
the
segment, I'm watching
I
it right
saw
now.
the first episode weeks ago because it's
No.
only on HBO Go.
No, you
so-
talked about it.
But as soon as I put something on in my bed, I'm fast asleep. So that's just not happening.
This show is one of the things that puts him to sleep.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
We know.
I won't point to anyone's segment.
I try. You people just shit on it.
Just shit on it.
Fuck.
But one of the things that he said he did, not to give a spoiler, but I think that's been all over the news today, is that he admitted he has full conversations with himself out loud in public, even when people are in the room. He talks to himself, and so he went to the bathroom still mic'd, and he talked to himself and confessed to the crimes. But there's also other ways that they caught him, not just that. So now, but the police arrested him the night before the finale of the show, and I don't know what
Clearly
that show
orchestrated.
Serial. Remember that radio show Serial that everyone was talking about in the beginning of the year? Allegedly, that's the same crimes, but I don't know.
We're still talking, Harrison.
Yeah. Same shit. But anyways, so it's called Jinxed. It's on HBO, and hopefully it's going to be on. If it's not on HBO on demand, it's definitely on HBO Go.
Well, I would imagine they'll also have some sort of a revision because, again, he has been arrested.
There will be
They're
one
trying
more.
to.
Clearly, there'll be one more episode.
LA wants to extradite him because he's in New Orleans, but they won't let him go. But LA wants to extradite him out there because is that where the murders were obviously? Why else would they want to
I thought they were
extradite
in New
him?
York and Los Angeles. Well, they can only get him for one. One he was tried, and the one where he chopped up the body and put it in the water. He was exonerated. He was found not guilty of that one because
okay.
he said it was self-defense. Then why did you have to chop up the body and
He
put it in
fell
the
into
water?
my life 37 times.
Yeah. So this one is about the woman who was his confidant and friend,
Almost a girlfriend, right?
almost a girlfriend, that was his main supporter through the
Okay.
whole trial. And I guess at some point she must have realized he had killed his ex-wife and the neighbor. And so he killed her too, and then left an anonymous note for the Beverly Hills police department saying that there was a cadaver. But it turns out that he doesn't know how to spell the word Beverly. And so all of the correspondence from the anonymous killer and from him all have the word Beverly in the same handwriting, spelled the same way wrong. So it's just a fascinating thing that
There might have been a murder.
So I have to Google
And you
what's...
both sing the same wrong words to amazing.
Yeah,
grace.
yeah. You don't have to be corduroy. Just listen to me. You know what I mean? I think he's the killer. He sings the same words to 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. So the other things in entertainment, besides however you can get to Jinx, find it because it has been so well reviewed all along that it's been killing me. I check every day to watch it on fucking on demand.
Oh my! I'm being served food here for those of you who can't see
Molly
us.
loves it when we chew on film.
Cabbage.
The season finale of Empire is tomorrow night, the 2-hour season finale.
I'm devastated
Why?
because I love it.
I know.
I don't want it to end.
They will have a lot. I'm nearly certain with the ratings that they've been getting. Yes, please. With the ratings that they've been getting, that they will have a longer season than just 13 weeks next year. That they will have a much longer season. The season finale for Glee, that finally dies
That shit show
this Friday.
finally.
Last week's was the only good one of this season, and it was their sectionals, and the music choices were very good. The songs were fun. It was a fun episode of just, we are just watching someone slowly march to death. It's like the Trail of Tears of, gay choirs.
It's so sad.
If I can just correlate the horrible atrocities we did to Native Americans to a TV show.
To a gay high school.
I'm sure that's a comparable reference. Sure.
Hashtag
My
the struggle
God.
is real.
So that's it, and it's already so much about death. But every time I turned on my computer, somebody else was dead of people that I was like, I admire your work, and now you're fucking dead.
That's terrible.
It really was.
How
terrible.
many of them did you think were already dead?
None. Absolutely
It's a
none.
fair question.
It is a fair question, but none on this particular list.
Oh.
Because the guy from Gimme Shelter and Grey Gardens gets interviewed quite a bit because of the movie, the musical, and the constant interest in that, because that movie gets found. It used to get found like every 10 years. And I've told the story about being at a party in the 80s when VHS was new, and someone broke out a Grey Gardens documentary when I was at a party, and I kept walking in and out of the room about like, what the fuck are they?
Oh my God, it's so
the craziness. And then it came out like
up.
It is crazy.
20 years later on DVD, and a friend of mine was like, do you remember that movie from the 80s about the crazy old ladies? Did you know it was a documentary? And I was like,
yeah.
Vaguely, I remember seeing that at a party. She's like,
And
oh,
then
no.
all of a sudden they did it again with Drew Barrymore in it.
Right.
They just reenacted the entire
Well,
documentary.
no, then it was a musical, and then it was a really funny musical with Christine Ebersole and oh my God, the other woman that won the Tony that played her that played the old Big Edie. Jerry likes my corn. I mean, I saw that on Broadway and almost shit my pants. It was so fucking funny. And then all of a sudden now now it's a big, again, HBO comes through again with the movie. I mean, it just went through such a weird run.
There is the house that's on Missouri between Central and 7th Street that Al and I used to ride everywhere a couple of years ago together, and the house was for sale, and it was a little rundown, and it was gray, and we always referred to it as Grey Gardens, and we wanted to buy it so
Were
we
you
could.
guys gonna buy it
We
together?
all wanted to buy it so we could all live in it because it's fucking massive.
And we couldn't figure out what the ridiculous price was about because it was a rundown house when the housing economy was in the shitter. Turns out it came with like 100 acres behind it.
Because some
like
of those lots are really
the
deep.
parcel of land behind it was like Disneyland.
Right.
And that's what
It's like
people
3
bought it
stories,
for.
and it's got all this add-on and huge garages. It's a big house. But whoever bought it, renovated, cleaned it up. It looks really good.
Was it it was like 1,000 square feet?
I don't recall.
No, that's
I don't
That's
recall.
pretty small.
Okay.
That is small. This house is 1,400.
Then it was 100,000 square feet.
That's maybe too big. Maybe 10,000.
I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
no. I mean, it was like Disney. It was a huge
Oh, the
parcel.
lot?
We
The
called
lot.
it-
The lot.
We call. Oh yeah. Oh, the lot is
The lot could be that big.
ginormous.
The
The
house
lot-
probably not that big.
No, the house wasn't that big. It was the parcel of land that came as its backyard that you were really buying. Because
Right.
I looked up the price a couple times. I'm like, really?
And you're like,
that much?
Settle down.
That house is barely standing.
Aaron from LA said 1 million square
1
feet.
million.
It was something ridiculous.
Right.
And when I looked it up online, I really had no like concept of how big that was. And then I had to do the Zillow thing where you see the aerial shot, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Neverland Ranch isn't that big. Neverland. I don't know what that voice was.
I don't know what
you
that
were
was.
never there.
But anyway, it was something we looked
But
at.
I've seen the same picture.
And every time I drive by it, I still call it Grey Gardens.
Me
I
too.
still look at it.
That's so nice.
Yes, there's
That's a
that.
nice local.
I don't know about this Irish
spot.
shit, but this is delicious.
Yes, it's good.
It smells
Marnie
delicious.
took a risk in making corned beef and cabbage and potatoes for her first time,
From the Irish
and
guy.
it's good.
And it doesn't smell at all like feet. My problem with cabbage is that when you cook it, it always kind of smells like feet. This does not.
That's later,
Well played, sir or ma'am,
sir or ma'am.
however you self-identify.
And we'll tell the Irish story. I went home for St. Patrick's Day. It's been years now. It was like my one sister was finishing college. The other sister needed a little respite care break from my mom. Mm-hmm. So I was home in March, and we did a St. Patrick's Day thing. Like, one of the girls that I grew up with married a man named O'Hara, and you know, they take the Irish very seriously. And we had this whole party because it's also one of my niece Kelly's birthday today.
Oh, very nice. Happy birthday,
So
Kelly.
yeah, happy birthday, Kelly. I think she's 26 or something like that.
She clearly doesn't listen.
Probably not.
Her sister does. Her older sister
that's
does.
fun.
So I went there and I was like, okay, my grandmother took the Irish seriously. Mm-hmm. Because she was Irish. Like, she was off the boat Irish.
Right.
Either her or her father. She may have been, I can't remember if she was born here or not. There's some debate as to whether she was born here or in Ireland. But she was Irish.
Yeah.
And you couldn't wear orange, and it was a whole big story. And it wasn't about drinking green beer. It was seriously about, like, getting down on your knees and praying for Ireland or whatever the fuck she was doing. Whatever crazy shit she was up to. But I never really thought anything of it. And then, like, my family went nuts this one St. Patrick's Day for this party, and we're making all these plans. And I'm like, I don't even know if I like this shit. Because everybody was talking about who made the best corned beef. And I'm like, that is definitely not something I would have eaten as a child. Like, I would have been like, where are the Italian people again? Because I'm not eating that fucking shit.
When is Columbus Day?
Yeah, when's that coming up? And so we went to this party, and I was like, as everybody was breaking out their recipes, I'm like, I love this shit. Like, this is so good. So, it was just weird that, like, I didn't realize my family was that Irish. Like, all right, I guess we're going to take this seriously.
Who knew? I guess now they are.
It's a touching story.
I thought we were just white. I just thought we were white. I didn't know we were identifying with any kind of group.
Well, you know, Irish Americans. That's Who invented this goddamn holiday?
Well, yeah, and I take it pretty seriously. I mean, last name's McKee. Somehow there's Irish. Swiss German Irish.
That could be Scottish, though.
Yeah, I think the word I got was Irish.
I believe I'm 164th Irish.
It's enough.
Well,
How much? A skosh.
There we go.
my grandmother was all Irish, though. And if she were here to tell you, she'd have two things to say. She was born in 1910, and she was Irish.
There we go.
Not a girl.
All right, kids, we are going to do our crossover into hour 3. Marnie's in the kitchen heating up stuff for us to eat, which is lovely. We're going to come back.
Blarney!
We're going to
drink in a while.
Blarney's our drinking word. We haven't done that much. Kat Carlson's coming back with a segment of stuff to talk about, and then we'll wrap it up with thoughtful vulgarity or some shit. Whatever.
Final vulgarity.
We'll be back.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Whoops. Good evening once again, everybody. It is 9 o'clock. You turned down the wrong button. That's what happened. Just swipe down the wrong thing. It's all good. Hi again to everybody in the chat room. God, they're busy, very busy. Go Neverland Gardens. What the hell's that?
Oh my god, that's Great Gardens. Neverland Ranch.
Oh,
Thank you.
Combine them.
Together.
Together at last.
We can work that out. You are in Studio C. We are coming to you from the heart of Central Phoenix. We do it every week, 7 to 10 our time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I guess you figured it out because you're listening to us, if not live, on demand, which you can do at any time, 24/7, going to qtalkamerica.com. My heaven's sakes. Kat, are you ready? You think we're going to be able to pull this off?
I mean, I'm as ready as I ever am.
Well, my God. Well, let's do
fix
something
that.
with it. We'll figure it out. Here we go.
We'll make some
Boys
shit
and
up.
girls, it's Kat Carlson and her very own segment. So let's go like this.
Well, as it turns out, 2 of the 4 stories that I had already got shit on.
Oh, we are ahead of our game.
So I have a story about actual shit.
Always good with the meal.
Speaking of cronuts, I found a story about a maple bar robbery. A study confirms what bartenders have known since 2001: millennials are dumbasses, and lesbians kissing causes quite the brouhaha in Paris.
Oh, brouhaha.
Brouhaha!
Right here.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's German for Blarney.
Yes.
Of course, we'll think of it.
So, we'll start with the actual shit story. A British Airways plane had to return to London because of a smelly toilet.
Oh, I did read part of this,
I
Jay.
still can't believe this is true.
That's where did I get this
Not
from?
one person packed Febreze.
Right? The plane was scheduled to fly to Dubai from Heathrow, but someone caused such a stink in the plane's toilet that it had to return to Heathrow Airport. A local British politician on board tweeted that the plane had to turn back because of a smelly poo in the toilet. However, he said he was not the culprit. The incident happened...
He wasn't going with the he who smelt it dealt it rule.
Which is a legitimate rule.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was him.
In the tradition of Blarney.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There's got to be a vent system on an airplane. I mean, for God's sakes, since 1950s, there has been a vent on a bathroom on a bus.
They don't fly, though. And just an important side note.
No, but
Bus terra firma.
no, I'm well aware of where the
Should
buses
not
go.
fly.
Gonna go
No,
Latin
but-
on this one.
Unless you're in that
it's
movie Spaceballs.
But you're in a
that
pressurized
Mel Gibson.
cabin. There's got to be some sort of a venting.
I think that's what pressurized cabin.
I feel like they keep all of the air in.
prevents.
But still,
Yes.
I would. Listen,
But I'm thinking
fucktards.
Febreze or an air
I'm just saying there's
freshener.
got to
I'm thinking
be
we used
some
to
sort of
smoke
a
on the airplanes,
venting
for God's sakes.
way on these
That's why
goddamn
I
things.
didn't-
At least one person has a little bit of fabric softener.
Or an old lady with that weird lilac spray
Yeah,
stuff.
the purse spray. But you know how like you unpack and you got one fabric softener snuggles the Care Bear skin
Right.
on your clothes still. Just dig around, people. You can make this work.
They're always on the inside of my jeans.
It's like
they
10
just
hours
fall
to
out.
Dubai. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That always
I don't
comes
know
out
why
in the
they're always
cafeteria.
in a pant legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently the pilot told passengers that the smell was caused by the toilet. He said it was liquid fecal excrement.
Oh, God.
Those are the words that he used.
Is that a technical description? I would like to know.
How's the corned beef, guys?
Seems fine.
Super.
It's not
solid.
liquid.
It's solid.
The pilot was adamant
How do you like me now?
that it was not a technical fault with the plane,
Thank you.
just smelled real bad. British Airways apologized for any inconvenience caused, and the flight was rescheduled for Friday.
Friday?
Well, the thing happened on Thursday, so
Oh.
yeah,
I'm like, wow.
had to lay over.
I'm like, that's a long time to take a shit.
Yeah, story written on Sunday, incident happened on Thursday,
They ate some bad corned beef.
Last week tonight.
aired out by Friday.
Right.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like, I would be beyond pissed off.
But everybody's like walked into that situation and then walked out with a person staring at you and you're like, no, listen.
You're like, settle down, that wasn't me.
I would have lit a match and risked.
But then you'd have been arrested by air marshals.
and
That's a legitimate problem.
I would
Like,
rather go down on an air marshal or whatever the phrase is than be accused of leaving the stinky dump in the porta potty.
as long as it wasn't the air marshal from Bridesmaids.
Oh, no, he's all right.
He's all right.
Now,
All right, we'll let him know.
I mean, you're in the middle of the, you know, I mean, you got to get a little something. You can't be-
Mile High Club, no matter what it takes.
after 1,000 feet, you can't be picky anymore.
Well, we spoke of cronuts earlier, and so I was inspired to read this particular story. A missing maple bar proved to be the only damage inflicted.
Now,
in
is
a-
that what caused the fecal smell? Because it sure sounds like a synonym.
the maple bar?
I just brought the cronut. Stinky cronut in the bread.
I don't even know where to go.
That is Blarney.
Workers at the shop on Aurora Avenue in Seattle called 911 about 9:45 p.m. Sunday night. A man was reportedly asked to leave the shop, to which he responded, "This is a robbery," and reached for his waistband to imply he was armed with a gun. The man allegedly ordered everyone to the back of the shop and rummaged about. Meanwhile, hiding employees called 911. Officers found the man matching the suspect's description at a nearby bus stop. They arrested him and booked him into King County Jail for investigation of robbery. The store manager, who reviewed the surveillance footage, advised the cops that the robber had only taken a single maple bar.
No.
there you have it.
I know.
I'm going to shoot you. That
I'll
maple
leave-
bar.
Sorry, I was a little delayed on that.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Or ma'am. This is a robbery.
The great cronut caper.
I need a cronut stat. Everybody in the back. I got nothing. I really had Aaron Shock and something else that I had to delete.
You should look up Sharknado, because Sharknado 3 has someone pretty important in it.
Shut the fuck up,
Seriously,
really?
look it up.
Well, here, let's have some dead air while I
Sharknado
look it
3.
up. Can you send me a link? For
No,
fuck's sake.
just look up Sharknado 3.
Asshole. All right, stand by. Riveting radio, folks.
It is
Oh, it's
riveting.
everywhere.
It should be very,
Here we
very
go.
simple.
Shark, S-H-A-R-K.
The traditional spelling, NATO.
3 cast.
I'm eating.
Go.
I can't do all of it.
Tara Reid and Ryan Newman. This is your
And
idea.
Ian Ziering. Oh, he was in the other two.
Nope.
Tara Reid.
Look up Michelle Bachman.
Shut the fuck up. Cast, Michelle.
David Hasselhoff is there.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, we're winning right and left.
Bo Derek plays a role.
And Thump the nearsighted manatee.
Sharknado 3 is filming in D.C. today. That's fantastic.
my-
So, would you like to? Do I have to read this?
Well, if you want to.
Do I
just
have to?
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything.
I'd like a synopsis, please.
Yeah,
No,
I-
I'm too fucking lazy
I
to
just
read the thing.
I looked through 20 people in Sharknado and
They said Michelle Bachman is in it.
Let's
That's all
see.
I know.
It says, yes, the below photo shows former Representative Michelle Bachman filming a scene
former is the keyword.
Yeah,
in
thank
D.C.
God.
for the cinematic masterpiece that will be
Sharknado!
Does it say cinematic
Sure the fuck
masterpiece?
does.
I like it.
Yeah. According to the Huffington Post, one of Bachman's lines includes, I believe they are growing in size. Congress has to take this seriously.
I like how you're reading that.
But she's playing somebody who's not retired.
It seems as though
say
Sharknado
retarded.
3 is growing in size with more ridiculous casting. Perhaps Congress has to take this seriously.
Right?
According to the D.C. Office of Motion Picture
They
and
take
TV
so much
Development,
seriously.
the production is indeed filming in D.C. Unfortunately, the Sharknado 3 production team requested that the exact location and dates of filming can't be shared until after filming has taken place because the crowds will distract the filming.
The throngs of 4 people.
You know what, though? The internet really did explode with Sharknado.
It's all over.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've resisted the urge. I've been tempted many
I
times.
can't. I see clips and I'm like, I cannot see my sharks degraded in this way.
The only rival is Shark Week.
Long lived has been my love of Ian Ziering, of course. Right, of course. Who doesn't like the
Ian
awkward?
Ziering?
Fuck him. I don't care.
Is his name Ian?
It is
It's
Ian.
Ian. He makes that very
He
clear.
really does. But I still have to say it, Ian.
Didn't he do like a stripper show in Vegas for a while? Didn't he host something like ITakeMyClothesOff.com?
Sure he did.
Do not look that up.
That sounds right. That he was a special guest dancer.
Yeah.
In a male dance review.
Review,
Yeah, that
perhaps.
sounds
I
right.
was a male stripper in a go-go bar. Remember that song? I was a male stripper in a go-go bar. It was
No.
a real song. It was in the 80s.
All right.
You
It
were
sounds like the
Sounds
80s.
delightful.
you were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Different show, maybe.
Different song.
All right.
Different
That much
song.
is true.
All right.
Same show.
Not much is true.
Yeah, it was around the same time as I Love a Man in a Uniform. That was by the Units.
Something.
The girls, they love to see you shoot. Honest to God, true song.
It's a shame we can't pull those up.
Dang it.
Oh, you can. I Love a Man in Uniform is still on iTunes, but the one about I am a male stripper in a go-go bar, that's probably not.
Probably not. I'm going to look it up later.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to do it now while I'm
All right,
ignoring
you
your
look
segment.
that up.
It might have been I was a male stripper in a go-go bar. It might have been a song of shame and not pride. He might have been.
All right.
If there was an obscure 80s songs, let me tell you, I was high and listening to it and singing along.
Tonight in a new segment entitled Obscure 80s Songs.
Right.
We could do a whole lot with that.
Songs that Al thought was a hit, but turns out only in his basement.
Yuck.
Right.
Ma'am. Sir or ma'am.
However you
However
self-identify.
you self-identify.
Right. Were you saying? Were you
Was it
saying?
wrong that I was more about the meat than I was about the potatoes?
No. I didn't put any...
How did you feel about the bass?
I'm all about the bass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good.
Here.
What? Here.
Are you?
What?
Are we
is
supposed to be
there-
listening to you?
sending you shit.
Oh.
Is there something?
Shut
Because I have to do your damn
the
job.
fuck
And
up.
how are you sending?
What?
I have a few other things. How are you sending it to me?
I don't know. Email.
Oh, I should open that.
A tornado of fecal matter.
I feel that these
How should I
lyrics.
send it?
Well, you continue on.
Tell me your lyrics, and then we'll go on.
I
only
was a
have, like,
male
2 more
stripper in a go-go bar.
things. Oh.
Ladies' night Adonis, working after hours, ripples on my chest, never got a night's rest. I was a male stripper in a go-go bar.
And I think I was pretty much on key and in tune.
A modern-day Jack, a jock with an act. Hey, Lolita, touch me, squeeze me, ooh.
Oh.
I was a male stripper in a go-go
was
bar.
a male stripper in a go-go bar. I'm not making this up.
Now I'm gonna go to YouTube. Carry on.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
I
this.
really, I did enjoy the reading though.
It was.
He's an actor. He's a trained Blarney actor.
The group was called Man to Man.
Man to man, yep.
Christ.
There you have it.
All right.
And you know Tim and I danced around in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't even finish that sentence.
Thank God I found the original 12-inch
you
mix. Shut up.
Right up my alley, literally.
Oh, seriously.
Whatever. I'll find lyrics and you can
right
carry
there.
on. Good.
it's fantastic. Well, in case you think people act like assholes around gays only in America, let's go to Paris.
Let's.
Yeah, the
In our
Parisians.
minds. The Parisians. Paris is where people, love-struck locals, and tourists alike kiss a whole lot. You can hardly take 2 steps down a rue or a Grand Boulevard without seeing a couple without seeing a couple smooching, often in the middle of the pavement. Carrie and Mr. Big kiss, final episode of Sex and the City. Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton kissing outside a hotel, and Something's Gotta Give. All kinds of famous kisses happen in
Princess Diana
Harry.
and the
Oh, right.
paramedic.
Paramedic.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Blarney. I needed to find my belt for that one.
If you
That
ever
was good.
wonder at the point when
Awful.
the story gets shit on, that was it.
Whoop, that's wrong.
There it
Yeah,
was.
I'm
However,
I'm with Jenny / Edith. Yaz. Totally. It sounds like Yaz.
It does, yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah.
however, it seems that not all kissers are equal in the land of liberté. A train guard from a major railway company has been suspended after allegedly shouting at a lesbian couple that their farewell embrace cannot be tolerated.
Oh.
He went on to tell the... I love that comes when I've started the next sentence.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hey, timing. I'm busy.
We're on a delay for Nero.
That's right.
Nero.
It's 4 a.m. there. He needs a minute to get ready.
Timing. Oh.
Actually, you can always cue me if you just tell me Give me a cue when
You just
want
point at him. You just see what comes out.
You never know.
Oh, you want now?
Well, none
Well,
of
you
that worked. That
promised.
did not work very well.
I didn't know we were going online that quick. God damn it.
You just point at me, but later.
Yeah, not now.
You point and I'll get to it.
I'm really
Sometime.
I'm really quite tired.
At some point.
It could be now. It could be 10 minutes from now.
Actually, I'm going to go back to eating. You read your
All right.
story.
Yeah.
Enjoy your snack.
I am.
Nope.
A train guard from a major railway company. Stop pointing at him.
Was it the Atchison,
didn't work.
Topeka, or the Santa Fe? None of them.
Oh,
It is not the Santa Fe.
Didn't work.
I know that show.
Sure
I know
didn't
that
work.
movie. What is that movie? The Harvey Girls?
The Atchison, Topeka,
Topeka,
and the Santa Fe.
Is that the Harvey Girls?
Pardon me, boys. Is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
Nope.
Oh, that's also. I think it's from the Harvey Girls.
None of it works.
Or-
Can you show me the way to Santa Fe is from Newsies?
Yeah. And Santa Fe is from Rent.
Nobody points and he does it. This is good. You don't know. You don't know. It's every now and again. It's random.
Don't make eye contact.
Go ahead.
I try not to.
Nope. Nothing.
A train guard.
I don't want to miss out on a group sigh.
I know, right?
Can't be done.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All you have to do is read your words.
It's
I know.
Choose your words.
A train guard from a major railway company has been suspended after allegedly shouting at a lesbian couple that their farewell embrace cannot be tolerated.
Oh, I'm doing something else. Sorry. Sorry, I'm suffering.
Our sound guy
Seriously, fire
is
him.
smoking Blarney. That's all I gotta say.
He went on to tell the astonished and humiliated pair that it would have been fine for heterosexual couples to kiss, but not for you dirty dykes.
You dirty dyke.
You dirty night.
Now, campaigners have insisted that the company, Thales International, a French, Belgian, German, and Dutch rail consortium,
Did you say phallus or phallus?
Thales,
All right, then.
with a,
Yeah, keep it in your
Or a
pants.
yeah, no,
Keep it in your pants, Blarney.
Nothing. Doesn't matter.
point at him does no good.
Nothing.
Thales International is a French, Belgian, German, and Dutch rail consortium that has featured, here's the kicker, has featured a same-sex couple in advertising campaigns,
But not dirty dykes.
but not the dirty dykes.
dirty dykes.
Dirty dykes.
One of the women on the receiving end of the homophobic rant
Or the tongue, depending on where
The
you are in the
receiving
story.
end.
Yeah, the one that was getting it.
There you have it.
Yep.
Atta girl.
Miriam is her name. She's 35 years old and is from Amsterdam, and it happens to be a member of the organization called All Out.
I was waiting. That's what I was busy queuing it. I'm terribly sorry.
And you were so quick about it.
I need to just isolate that as a soundbite is what I need to do. But
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, her gay rights organization is all met at the train station, and the train company saying, "Oh, blah blah blah. You shouldn't have said that. And you shouldn't, put the gays out there in your advertising if you don't really mean it." So clearly, the company has apologized profusely. A spokeswoman for Thales confirmed the homophobic incident and said a member of the staff has been suspended pending a full investigation. As soon as we received the complaint, we started a preliminary investigation.
Of course you did.
Yeah. On Saturday, the organization All Out has been busy. They've gotten 60,000 people to sign a petition calling for Thales to be sanctioned for their actions and in singling out this lesbian couple for kissing.
Asshole.
And I thought the Parisians were just.
Oh, they were pretty open about it, yeah.
Please, these people like fuck for a living.
I think
No, that's prostitutes. I mean, not Parisians.
Totally different. Totally
Tomato,
different.
tomato. Yeah. And that's for $50. She'll sing that.
well, not now.
Not
No,
anymore. No, not anymore.
Yeah.
Similar, but
Now, is
different.
Roger Goodell the head of Thales? I'm just wondering if, now we're going to look into it and, they're doing.
I'll do some more research.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So, homophobia alive and well in La Gay Paris.
Yeah, that's just an odd place to get it.
Yeah, that's kind of what caught
Not according to you a minute
Is that what you meant, Al?
In the butt.
my in the butt, Bob.
It might be otter. By an otter. With an otter.
Well,
In a house
It was kind of
with
like
a
when
mouse
In a car, in a bar.
in your
on a
arse.
train or
Yeah.
in the rain with a goat
I
On
saw
a boat.
on a boat.
Ah,
Nice
I saw
well,
like to float.
I saw Rent. Not the first time I saw it, but like the second time I saw it.
Was it
we're in New York
525,600 minutes ago?
later? Yeah, it was like 525,600 minutes later after the first time I saw it. And I'm sitting in a theater, and it's like Act 2, so we're like a good hour and 10 minutes into Homo Land of like every shape or color. And, you know, we're in New York, we're in the shitty Nederlander Theater, and all of a sudden the girls start doing Take Me or Leave Me, and this person behind me is, I was like, lesbians? And I'm like,
have you not seen the show?
and I seriously turned like, here now? Really? Like, you're going to have a problem with gays this far into this show? Like,
Now you have the problem when it's the lesbians?
yeah, who were kind of busy in the first act too, but it was just the weirdest reaction to like, did you just wake up? Like, have you been asleep?
Sure.
I mean, that's a thing. That could be.
But I'm just always, it always weirds me out when like you're in a place where you're not expecting any kind of homophobia, and
Always
it just
shocked
and it
by the
rears its ugly
misplaced-
head, and you're like, you do know where you live, right? Like the old joke about somebody saying, "Oh, I wish there was an island where they could take all the gays and like put them there," and they're like, "You're on it. It's called Manhattan."
Right?
It's an old joke, but it's still funny.
It's good.
It is funny. I loved it.
Blarney.
I loved it. All right. Moving along to a study that I found interesting, but pretty well documented by me. Bad news ahead for the American workforce. Its millennial generation is flunking the basics. Americans born after 1980 are lagging their peers in countries ranging from Australia to Estonia, according to a new report from researchers. The study looked at scores for literacy and math and found that Americans not so good at it.
No.
Not so good at it.
Have you ever watched somebody go through math anxiety?
Every
Yes.
time I try to add.
Okay, because now
time.
now I pay attention to that Blarney, and I gotta tell you, that's some fucked up shit. When you watch someone have to do simple math,
I had to
they start to sweat.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously, no, it's bad. Some years ago, a friend of mine was up for promotion and had to do some continuing education at whatever she was doing, blah, 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 and had to take some really basic math, like Algebra 1, and
God.
there was, like, some fraction things happening.
I'd lose my mind.
And she would call me in a panic. Like, I would just be in the car on my way to work, or I'd be, you know...
Algebra 1 is not beginning math. Basic math.
I would agree with
really
you.
I
basic.
dropped. I could not wrap my head around
It's
it.
like basic math 2 then. I mean, it's
All
it's
right,
pretty low on
It's
the,
really low
it's
on the
low on the scale.
Like, yeah.
Nope.
They're teaching it to third graders now.
I know they are now.
it's
I'm just telling you, no.
I'm
Yeah,
not
they're
sure.
That would not
solving
be
the
the
dress is
basic math.
originally $8. It's on sale for 50% off. How much is the dress? That's Algebra 1.
Yeah.
That's algebra.
Yeah, that's all algebra is.
I just thought that
You-
was
you-
simple ciphering.
You use everyday math. You use everyday
Right.
algebra almost every day in your
Well,
life.
when I took
It's
intro to
solving for the
algebra, I
mystery
was
number.
like, "Fuck you, people! I'm out of here."
Because it's using symbols. Because no one ever did the analogy of like you use it to shop. If it's a
Right.
30% off sale and it was $9,
No one
How
ever
much is
did
the
that.
dress?
My
It's
algebra
$6.
teacher looked at me and said, "Marnie, let's say you want to build a bridge," and I said, "Let's say you don't want to drive over that bridge.
Yeah.
You don't want," but they equated it to that. And
Hey,
but that's all you have to.
between your heart.
and my
Still funny. It's been like a month.
Yeah, that's been a while.
No, she's been dead a couple
yeah,
years.
poor thing. Three, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finger on the pulse.
Yeah, where's
Finger
Ray
right
J?
here.
Finger on the
Finger
pulse.
on the pulse. Ray
It's
J.
just getting weaker and weaker after 3 years.
I know.
The pulse.
But the point to my anecdote was
The
that my
bathwater.
my friend, grown ass adult, professional job, you know, a skilled job, saves people's lives for a living, and had to do some continuing education that involved fractions,
I would lose my mind.
and panicked on a regular basis. It was 3 months of pure torture and entertainment, because clearly I did.
You were entertained.
I was highly entertained the whole time. I was like,
Sure.
"Are you kidding, dummy?"
Yep.
And
you
would
can
have
call
to-
me a dummy anytime you want, because I would freak out. No
Well, it
choice
wasn't
about
you. If it was you, I'd have just said, "Marnie."
it.
As if they're synonymous. I'll help you with that, man.
Blarney.
Blarney.
Both
I'd
Indonesia.
have called you out if you were the person in this story, for crying out loud.
Well, that pisses me off. Now I'm mad.
But then I'd have called you out.
Math happens in my job
right.
a lot.
A fair amount.
And there's a lot
Ditto,
of
bag.
there's a lot of math that goes into it. And if you're doing anything with children, you have to get 100% on any math test that they give you.
Sure.
Because you're dosing for children.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So you can't panic on
screw
math.
that up by 10% because dead kid.
Dead kid.
Right.
That's why I'm in social work.
So I mean, but it's
it's
funny.
frowned upon.
So recently we've been doing.
They don't look to me for that.
Just the way this week has gone. There's been a lot of like math talk of like stuff that to me is adding and we're not even in algebra. We're like adding and subtracting and like. Okay, this is running at 14, and the high number is 20, so we only have a variance of 6.
Right.
And the girl that I was working with started to just openly sweat.
Oh.
And I'm like, now it's 12 and 22, so now we have a variance of 10. And she was,
Oh my god.
and I'm like,
Right.
okay, settle down. 12 and 20, that's not tough.
Well,
I mean,
and
if
then
you want
people
me to
will
add
be
and
like,
subtract,
okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, algebra, I get a different picture, like what you're talking about. No, fuck that. I had to have a tutor. I went through, I'm not kidding.
I did. I saw it.
Oh,
I saw
awful.
it when I went back to school because, they took a lot of my high school stuff, thankfully, when I went back to school for like math and chemistry. But I went and or you could test out of it. And I went and sat down a test and I'm like, I don't know what the fucking integer is.
right.
So I failed the test because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what these words mean. And then
Because you do it really practically.
Then I
and-
sat down and I did the math test and I got like 100%. They're like, how did you fail that one? I'm like, I don't know what the word integer means. Like, what the fuck is that?
It means number.
It means number.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know what those is an integer.
Integers are your counting numbers.
Like, is
One,
it inner or
2,
is it outer?
3,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't walk around and be like, oh, how many integers are you? Like, what the fuck? How
Gazinta,
old are you?
gazinta. What a funny word.
Offer a number.
Would you like me to tell you in integers, or would you like me to tell you in
I would like you to stop talking.
GMT?
I need you to just shut up for a minute because you're
How many
killing me.
fingers am I holding up?
Yeah.
Those are digits.
Yeah.
It's different though. It's different if Stacy plays though.
Very.
That's a fraction.
How many fingers is the diabetic holding up?
I was making that joke 2 weeks ago. I'm like, he's out on the street corner waving 4 fingers at anybody that walks by.
Right.
No, I totally agree though with your example with the girl from work. Like, I had to try and teach some girl how to make change one day, and like the sheer panic that was on her face and the fact that she could not understand. Okay, well, you have to make the next dollar, and then you make the next 5, and then you make the next increment up, like however high you have to go.
Sure.
You know, and everybody in this room has been in the bar industry, so they clearly understand how to make change, because otherwise you flunk out of the bar industry real
Absolutely.
fast.
Or the people like when you tell them you have to count back the change correctly.
Or
Yeah.
if you give
Because
them like
when you deal with
a
it-
$10 bill and it's $10.23 and you give them 23 cents. That
Or
fucks
you
them
give
up.
or you give them something that's a multiple of 5 so that you don't get pennies back.
Oh.
And you just watch people
Right.
start to like just panic.
Yeah.
And
And
the
they're
panic
so
sets in.
thankful that they can punch it into
like-
the POS system.
Yeah, I watch that. If those odd cases that I ever use change, like in a drive-through somewhere, and it's whatever, and it's 67, and I give them 7 cents, and they're like,
They're like,
"Why are you giving me
Why
this?
did you do
Because
that?
you know what you just did?
Punch it in. Punch it in."
You just did algebra.
Oh, no, but I do
Because you had
that.
to figure out how
I
you
just
needed
do that
to-
in
But
my
no one
head.
has no one has ever explained to you that that's what
true.
you're doing. You're solving for what is the thing that's going to get you something that's not a penny
And
back.
I just call it addition and subtraction.
Oh, that's the way
Right,
I
but
do
you
math.
did the leap in your mind that said if I give you something that has 2 more than 5, I'm going to get 5s
Yeah.
back.
yeah, but
and
nobody's
not
saying like
pennies.
if I take a train from
long as
Right,
they're-
right.
here,
So you just
and
needed
it's
a better
like,
teacher
oh.
that would just give you the
that would've
analogy
been
that's
nice.
not a train.
the real
leaving
world
a-
example
yeah.
that works. Money
Yes.
works for some
But that's
people.
trying to take a word problem and turn it into the numbers, which either you get that or you don't.
Right, and I just don't.
Right,
Those, but you're right. When you change it to something else, then I'm like, oh, okay.
Easiest
Yeah.
way was Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with 250. Jill came down with $5. I don't know how that's me. That's math.
And Jack had a scorching case of the clap.
That goes back to prostitution.
And Jack found out why Jill was only charging $20 because she had a burning sensation that was called Blarney in Ireland.
Well,
It's really more of a grown-up story by the time I'm done with it.
Barney Stone, and
But it's still math.
When they went up, it was a
Still
story
math.
for children. When they went down, not so much.
that's
What
kind
were
of how
your
it
stories?
goes.
What were you talking about?
Well, as it turns out, people in this country who are born after the year 1980, so those say 22 to 35.
You.
I can't remember the name of the organization, but they did a study and they found out that half of American millennials, those 22 to 35-year-olds, scored below the minimum standard of literacy proficiency. Only 2 countries scored worse than us, Italy and Spain. Even worse are the scores for number, in which almost 2/3 of American millennials failed to meet the minimum standard for understanding and working with numbers.
Okay.
These are people that are graduating from college in the highest numbers ever. They're the people that have now exceeded the baby boomers in population. And they're the people that are going to be taking care of us when we are old.
That's right.
I'll be dead.
Yeah.
So 50%, that's like half.
Yeah. If I'm understanding you correctly,
If I'm hearing you,
half those people are whores.
is one named Jill?
Yeah, and the other half have a scorching case of herpes.
Well, they're saying that when 2 weeks ago, I think I was talking about how Whiskey Row went black, like from the internet and all of that. They couldn't. The internet went down, and so no one knew. Everything requires the edge system, right?
The point of sales all require internet.
Everything has that. You have the ATMs. If it's a cash only place, but the ATM is down, I mean,
Sure.
there
You
was all
can't even-
kinds of.
right.
So the place
What's
just
Whiskey
went
Row?
Up in
in
Prescott.
Prescott.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so it was just kind of crazy, and it was mainly the millennials that were like,
Oh, the sheer
I
panic.
don't. What do you mean? Write
No.
it down. What do you
Right.
mean? And go and
Right.
I don't understand.
My point of sale goes down, and I go, oh, fuck.
Yep.
First of all, I got to figure out how to get this cash drawer open. And I don't remember where they hide the stupid fucking button.
Correct.
And-
Correct.
Yeah. And
There's
I can never
keys.
find the key.
We give the owners keys, and they never know where the fuck the keys
the
are.
owners are assholes.
No
They don't-
one ever
they don't
knows
like
where
their
the
people
keys
that
are.
have keys.
You have those things, and then now they're
It
saying
doesn't matter
that
what it's
millennials-
to. Nobody
Right.
knows where the keys
Yeah.
are.
My issue is, how do I get to the cash?
Right. Absolutely. And
And
then
the
I'll be
millennials'
fine.
issues are, I don't know how to make change.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the millennials on the other side of the bar are like,
Beers are
what's cash?
$6. What do I do if they give me a 20?
Yeah. What is cash? You know what?
No.
I'm so far removed from the efectivo, as they say in Mexico. I honestly don't have it anymore.
No.
So I'm so not used to it. So when I open up my wallet and there's a couple bucks there, I'm like, oh my God, I can tip someone in cash.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
I act like I just found Jesus and a clown in my wallet.
No.
Jesus
And
for
now
the
is that the
delicious
same?
egg/nuts, depending on how you translate the Aramaic.
Well, and they're saying now that millennials don't want to even learn how to drive. They don't want to do anything because they're
Lazy fuckers.
because of the transit system. Like they don't have to. They're talking about the car, the economy,
and that's a whole different issue.
all kinds of
I can
things.
definitely understand. The 20-something who is probably still living at home with mom, doesn't want to deal with the maintenance of the car.
Sure.
They're basically Al with no money, so they don't want to maintain it.
It's not a bad place to be.
That is good.
So if you can like
not
justify
blarney at
it,
all.
Yeah.
if you can justify it, and now with services like Uber and
Sure.
light rails and buses
That's what I
and
was gonna
things
say,
and
between-
bicycles, like you can. I'm gonna have to do the math on it. I'll have to do a little
yeah,
algebra.
please.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a little
Say,
algebra,
'cause
and
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
figure out
fucking
what
do
it
it.
would cost me to get rid of my car and still get to work and get to the places that I go. Because I'll.
But
bet-
how can you get rid of your car if you make money other ways with your car?
Well, that's a whole different thing. I'll just go with my
that's a
my bar
different-
job.
okay.
Right. No, for me specifically, that wouldn't work out because I actually make money in
Right.
that car.
Right,
And-
right, right.
and not like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at.
Whoa!
The Blarney position is extra.
The van is rocking. Don't be
I mean-
lying.
I like it.
Wait
She's
your turn.
if she's facing
Right.
the stone.
Well, do you agree, Anant?
But you know what I mean? Somebody that
what's
lives
being said?
less than that lives less than 10 miles from work.
Right.
You know,
Check.
Right. Bikes to a lot of places socially. Has other friends that might be willing to come pick them up
Check-ish.
occasionally. Right. Like you could. I could
No, but
definitely see.
the caveat to that is, but also happy to stay at home on his couch
right.
and watch the world go by. Like, oh, there goes another car.
Oh.
Oh, there goes another car.
Like the other day, I was driving Uber, and American Express has a really big complex up in Scottsdale, kind of near where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, honest to God, like 5 in a row, just kind of shuttled back and forth between American Express and this one apartment complex. Each ride only like $5 for the guys. Bing, bing, bing. So I'm like, okay, $10 a day. I go to work, 20 days a month. That's $200. That's already $150 less than my current car payment.
Okay.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
And if I give up-
and then I don't have to buy gas. I don't have to do any maintenance. So that's saving me
No
additional
car
money.
insurance.
Right.
No upkeep. And that's what I'm like, if I only have to work my job 12 days a month.
True. Harris.
Like I only work 36 hours a
Right,
week.
sure.
It's 12. It's literally 12 days.
Three
a month.
12s, right.
Literally.
Yeah.
12 days a month. The bus fare, and they would pay for my bus fare. It's called
Some sort of ride sharing.
yeah, it's got a ride sharing
bullshit.
program. They would pay my bus fare for the month, and it's 15th Avenue to McDowell over. Like if I was ever on the internet, which I never am, and Googled like how do I get from my house to on those, what time do those two buses meet up in the middle?
Right.
It would cost me no money to get to work whatsoever, and it would be probably maybe 10 minutes longer than my travel
Your
time
actual
now
commute.
if I did it right, because they're not driving anywhere. Like they're going to drive down the street and make the same left turn I am.
Right.
I'm just going to have to cross that one street. And it's a pretty big fucking hospital. So guess what? We got our own bus stop. We're all kinds of fancy.
I just want to answer
Drop it off right
Nant up there. No, I don't know what a logarithm is. I do not, and I feel like an idiot, but I don't. I have
You mean
no idea.
an algorithm?
No, he
No,
said how to
logarithm.
use
No
a
logarithm.
logarithm. I don't.
I don't either.
If I
And I've gotta
thought
tell
about
you,
it really
I-
hard, I'd have to look it up, but I could use logs too.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't even know. I wouldn't know where to start. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
It's been so long since I took anything.
It's not
that-
even
that
on.
required it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it's a math thing.
It's definitely a math thing,
right?
yeah. Oh,
That-
yeah. Logarithm is like sines and cosines and all that stuff, and the logarithm, yeah.
Or
An
the left
algorithm
There's like
is
a
what-
whole
An
table
algorithm
and-
is when you have a set way to do something. If you're following an algorithm, then you follow the set way to do something.
Everybody follows algorithms
Yeah,
all the time.
all the
How
time.
to make toast.
How to-
Insert bread. Push down button.
There's your algorithm.
Weights. Enjoy.
Place
How
butter.
to make Pop-Tarts.
Put
Or
butter
jam.
on it. I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Sure.
all kinds
Yeah.
of other things.
Whatever your habit, whatever your
right. That I could do.
Yeah,
Not
but
any
that's not-
logarithm.
that's not-
That's an
math.
algorithm,
Yeah.
not a logarithm.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I could do that.
different. But yeah, according to this study,
Just
our
telling you what I'm
next
capable
generation,
of.
pretty dumb and real far behind the rest of the world.
But if you're
So
right.
yes, Anant, we are.
But there, and again, Harrison points out we're talking about American millennials because the millennials in almost every other country are way
doing
ahead
amazingly.
of ours.
Yeah, they're basically the baby boomers.
They're
Because-
actually doing these surveys showing that we're idiots.
Right, they're the ones conducting their surveys. Because
Trigonometry, I have no idea. I just got through basic algebra. Like, that's all I had to get through. He's saying that's trigonometry. And
Yeah.
That's fine.
Annette, I loved math and took like crazy, stupid calculuses because they were fun, not even because I needed to.
yeah,
He's talking about tangents. I
Sines,
go on
cosines,
tangents
and
all the
tangents, yeah.
time.
yes.
No, different,
Oh, okay.
totally different.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Synonyms. The danger. No, homonyms.
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 Danger of homonyms.
Danger of homonyms.
Tangents, much different.
Sorry, just wanted to make sure. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blarney.
good times.
So there it is. That's my whole segment.
That's it. That's the whole
That's
thing.
all I had. That's all I had. I
Anything-
feel like I've stretched that fucker out for a
Anything?
long time.
Anybody else want to bring up that we
have?
haven't talked about tonight that you wanted to before we get into our final segment?
Is there anything from the listeners that they want to
Yeah.
comment on? I hate to say that I have not. Or I am. Oh no, I want
Did
that
you guys
page.
see the gal on the news that had the big news of the penis collar?
The what?
Oh my god! How did we not talk about the penis transplant?
Huh?
How did we not talk about
Oh.
that?
I just heard about that. Was it real?
Yeah, I think that was real.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was
Somebody
real.
just looked
That
up
story's
that-
that story's growing.
by the minute.
Doctors perform for a successful penis transplant. NBC or CBS News must be a thing.
Well, if the Tiffany Network is reporting it, we know it must be valid.
That's right, Aaron. No.
Skip this ad. Yeah,
Wait, where's our-
surgeons in South Africa say they performed the world's first successful penis transplant. The 9-hour operation, carried out by a team of doctors, took place on December 11th, 2014, but was not publicly announced until this month while doctors waited to see how the patient would recover. Now fully convalesced, and no, that's not a dirty thing. The hospital says the patient has regained all urinary, reproductive, and sexual functions of his new penis. This came as a surprise to doctors who expected him to take at least 2 years to recover.
And the guy who got the new penis, it's a surprise to him too.
Oh yeah.
Woke up one morning and was like,
Whoa, what's
there's a
going on
surprise.
here?
What happened there?
Happy birthday, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm with you, Harrison.
Haven't seen you for a few years. Welcome back, buddy.
I'm still waiting for my
Thank you
Ruth
for
Bader
being a
Ginsburg action
friend.
doll.
Yeah.
They made them. They made them in Lego form.
Oh, I did see the Lego
Did you
one.
see
I
the Lego
loved
ones?
that. I love that.
Yeah, I wanted to order them for you, but then I was like,
I wanted to just bring up to Harrison that I did all of headlines
Bye,
completely
Jenny.
paper free. Completely paper free. Harrison made a big deal out of paper free for me, and I did headlines completely paper free.
Oh,
very
God. Hey.
Yeah, me berating you for 3 years didn't do a fucking thing, but she says something.
Harrison types one little line up there.
No, because
Yeah.
I was trying, and she said to do something on the computer.
The notes,
and so,
yeah.
yeah. But I never listened to you. I mean, if you said that, but
Right. What would we do that for?
bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
My
Oh
goodness
God.
gracious.
God
That's all.
damn
That's all.
cunts. Blarney!
Nope, that's Marnie.
Is that an Irish cunt?
That's funny.
Be afraid.
Oh my goodness, the penis transplant guy botched circumcision.
Ouch.
Gross.
That's why you
First off,
shouldn't-
don't do it.
do it.
Let's talk about that.
We already did.
No more circumcision.
I mean, not today, but we
Just
already have.
Stop.
Let it grow. Let it grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Right.
all right.
Learn to wash it.
All right. Pulled that one out of my ass too. Done.
All right.
I don't think you should end a penis transplant story by saying I pulled that one out of my ass, especially for you.
I did that on purpose.
Oh, she's being irate.
Well, look what Nero
And
says.
that's
She
what-
says the first guy to get a penis transplant was a Chinese guy years ago, but the wife didn't like it, so it was taken off. Also called Lorena Bobbitt.
We're gonna move on, and it's gonna
You
sound
get
a
rid
little.
of that now.
Next
You go
caller.
now.
Is the caller there? Poughkeepsie, you're on. Let's hope we get through this segment, shall we?
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Long-time listeners of the show will notice that is a revamped intro to that segment where we recorded a few weeks back, and Kat was laughing during the opening that he sounds so drunk when he does that.
Oh, wait. That's because he was.
Yeah,
right.
there's
Me
that.
too.
Ah, my God.
Okay, we got a couple of them today.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we got time. We got time. Blarney, if you could invent a new holiday.
Marnie.
Marnie. nice to meet
Weimer Reiner.
I always enjoy a new panelist. Welcome.
Thank you, Kitty Carlisle.
Good luck. Thank you.
If you could invent a new
Who are
holiday.
you fucking people?
Yeah, I know exactly. She's my favorite Alzheimer's patient. Every day a new adventure.
I know.
If you could invent a new holiday, what would it be?
The Marnie Ryer holiday.
Oh, I like it.
Only because that way maybe once a year you get my fucking name right.
If I got a day off for it, you betcha I'd get that Blarney right.
Oh, fuck. It seems like they have a holiday for everything.
Yeah.
But do we get the day off?
Right. A real fucking holiday.
One of those fake holidays like Columbus Day.
Like even I get time and a half for it.
I think there would need to be one in August.
Oh, I agree.
I think there needs to be one in August, and we'll call it Fuck This Shit Summer.
Well, that's only an Arizona thing, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I've been
August
around
is
in
icky.
August.
Yeah.
No.
if
That
you
humidity
gotta-
is pretty miserable.
Yeah, humidity is awful. So, yep.
Hello, D.
Hi, D.
Hey,
from
D
you.
from the UAE.
UAE. D from
Like
the
I-
UAE.
Well, he knows your name. Thank God for that.
He
Kind
copied
of.
and pasted from the
Kind
active
of.
chat room
Yeah.
people.
Kind of.
How do you
Kind
do that? Is that a skill?
Maybe.
All right, I like yours. You got.
Thanks.
You're ahead so far.
Thanks.
Cat Carlson Memorial Day.
Yeah, I was waiting for
The
that.
memorial.
Next caller.
And what month would that be in?
Well, allegedly it might be in December.
Oh, I see.
There's
when
so
I was
much
actually
going
born.
on. So much going on in December already.
I feel like that's true.
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah.
Maybe it could be like Jesus and his nut/eggs, and pick a different month to be born.
I completely
Just
agree
any
with
month?
Harrison, and I was
Because
going
he wasn't
to go
born
with
in
that.
December either.
I was going to go with that, Harrison. That's exactly what I was thinking. But then I just thought it would be funny.
I feel like September.
Well, and I don't even know if I work that out, but
I typed in words so they think I'm working. Oh, wait. Speaking of atheists, I almost shit my pants today.
I'm glad you didn't.
I'm busy getting all my...
Were you at Sears?
Shut up.
Kmart. It was Kmart.
Kmart, my bad.
I shit my pants. Oh, I thought you knew some story where
It's so
I took
convenient.
a shit in some department store.
Wow. Touchy a little bit
Wow.
about that?
Time
In the
out.
Sears.
Is there such a story?
Well, I was worried that there
Apparently.
was.
I'm saying yes.
I just wrote a preemptive fuck you just in case.
Wow.
But
I'm
so
worried that you would believe that you wouldn't remember such a story.
it's true. It's
All
true.
right.
Well, there's
It's
the
very
famous
fucking
story of me
possible.
at lunch the one day, and I'm a very messy
I
eater,
like it, Harrison.
and I was eating beefy nachos with friends and
Yeah,
laughing.
is that what you call it?
I remember this,
And-
actually.
I didn't realize what had happened. And then the waiter came to bring me my food, and I reached down to get my napkin out of my lap, and there was like this cheesy meat sauce in my crotch. And I'm like, I thought I didn't realize I was talking out loud, and I'm like, did I just shit my pants? Because I was unclear as to what was floating around in this saucy cheese in my pants. And like the waiter was just about to hand me food, and was like,
Oh boy.
oh my god! And everybody at the table was like, "Is that something that could have just happened that he doesn't know about?" But I just looked at my crotch and announced that I just shit my pants, and it pretty much destroyed a restaurant for service for the rest of the day.
That's fantastic.
Is this not the story when we did? It was on a rehearsal for the Halloween show
Yeah, that
out in
little restaurant,
Awatuka.
that
Yes, I
restaurant
remember
that.
that.
Oh my god! Did I just shit my pants?
I remember you. I remember that.
Missy
terrifying.
Al, always a classy lady.
Exactly.
She's a charter.
But and the best part was Cliff and Mike Fernelli like looking at me like,
Oh God.
"Oh, sweetie, you have no personal shame. Did that just happen?" I just have to review what I ate that looks like this. That's now in my crotch, and whether it fell out of my mouth or shot out of my ass, because I am unsure.
I had not eaten.
Shot out of
I
your
had not
ass
eaten corn.
To your
Yeah. We have a corn out situation without a recognized corn in.
We're on high alert.
Oh, boy.
Can we land this plane? We're gonna-
We had a corn out situation.
Turn the blade around.
we have a corn out with no discernible end time. So can we back this mother up?
Start again. Oh hell.
This is one classy show we put on.
Hey.
It is. We are ready for syndication.
We're rocking
So
this
I'm hoping
boat.
your holiday's not going to be called corn out. But what holiday would you?
I hope we get KTAR. I feel like we would fit right in over there.
Yeah.
I think they need us.
Oh, well, they've actually buried most all local
Barney.
production and gone to disclose syndication.
Because their local people were idiots.
Be the best possible version of yourself, Harrison. Definitely lip gloss.
Oh,
About it, I like it.
wow.
Yeah, we're classy motherfuckers.
Classy
That's
We
right.
are. We are.
Mercy. Fucking mercy.
Ah.
I turned my back to scratch my crotch. Let me tell you, that's the kind of
Well,
deal I
you-
make with God.
How is it that you shit out cheese and beans and you found it in your crotch?
It was
and-
meat.
Whatever.
Keep your beans to yourself,
Well,
lady.
but how did you shoot it out? Then it went to your-
Deflection can be a crazy thing.
It was just the thing of like, it was the surprise of looking down at my napkin.
I can believe that.
Have you ever spent time with babies? How does it get in their hair?
Yeah.
Another corn situation.
Yeah.
How does it get from here to here? They're just sitting in a chair.
And they're happy about it somehow.
They don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Clayton McKee, what's your holiday?
I don't even know what to do with
Is
that.
it corn
actually.
in?
It's going to be a maze holiday.
Exactly. Because of the Trail of Tears.
So is that an IKEA holiday?
The Trail of Tears is when you walk away not knowing when the corn in was.
Some people call it masa. We call it maze.
Oh, do you remember those commercials?
Mazzola.
You really felt like you learned something.
Mazzola. Our people
call it maze.
maze.
Our people call it beige. Shut up, lady.
I can't think of another. What would I give a shit about a holiday for? Another one.
National Lawnmower Day.
Oh,
Ooh, now we're talking lawnmowers and vacuums. We might
Yeah.
actually get something there.
there you go.
National suck shit up in my leaf blower.
Hoover Day. You could make it all kinds of things.
I like all of these. I like first rain of the year and rainy day holiday because most of us live in the desert or things that are really deserts, but you pretend it's not California.
Typing a word and copying and pasting in the chat room is actually a mission. D from UAE, we are on board. Can you send us a picture of can you post a picture of your office so we can see?
Oh, so I forgot I got lost in the shit my pants story, but the point of it was, as I was watching CNN today, and
welcome back.
When we listen to the playback, we'll find out what the hell how that got interrupted. Ron Reagan Jr.
Oh.
Okay, now you're all over the fucking.
Wait,
map.
no, you just started everybody up.
I started this sentence earlier, but somehow I shit my pants because it's so
Probably when you told me to
convenient.
shut the fuck up.
It probably was
Probably.
it. Ron
Maybe.
Reagan Jr. is on CNN commercials pushing about atheism and how he's a proud atheist, and he has been all his life, and he wants to get a separation of church and state. It's got to be on YouTube, but find it. They're playing it on CNN all the time now. I was like, do the Republicans know that St. Ronnie's son is blatantly on TV?
I'm
Doing
done.
this.
Aaron
Being anti-Christian.
just invited us to Darling Day on Facebook.
Yeah, they're all
It's a new
good.
event.
Shut the fuck up for
June
real.
love
12th,
it.
we'll celebrate.
Fucking
Oh my
love
god.
it.
Harrison, are we
Aaron, if you
Facebook?
were
I don't know
smart,
if we're
you'd make the
Facebook
first
friends.
one a Tuesday.
Hello.
Dur.
Or not, I'm going to do a little bit of math. Dur.
fuck.
Listen, Dur. Blarney Dur. That's your name. Blarney
logarithm.
Dur. We'll make it like Thanksgiving. It's the second week of every June, always whatever's on a Tuesday. Just like Thanksgiving.
The second Tuesday. It's like voting day. It's
the
the
second
second
Tuesday
Tuesday
of
after
every
the first
June.
Monday of June.
Right. It can't be, the second Tuesday after the first Monday, whatever that is.
You said that for 3 months straight leading up to the next election.
Because I love that bit of trivia. It's my favorite piece of trivia ever. What's your fucking holiday? Jesus Christ.
I thought I would have gotten out of this.
Suck it Saturday.
Suck it Saturday.
Wow. Is that
Ooh,
the
for
same as
Dr. Ben.
Hoover?
Wait, I'm getting hate mail in the chat room.
There was what?
It says for Dr. Ben,
I like it.
link.
Link.
I like it.
Wait. I asked for a picture from the United Arab Emirates, and she says, "I'll try, but most probably when everyone has fled. If you need to flee your office, by all means, do.
Was there a poo situation?
You can listen to us on demand later, but fleeing your office for safety.
Funny.
Have you met Blarney? What's your holiday?
I don't really have a holiday.
Oh, come on.
I saw that.
Dream big.
This is my hate mail from Nope.
I don't give a fuck. I'm a baby and I'm just gonna have to shit.
I saw that.
That's good.
I clicked on it too.
Well, these fuckers wouldn't click on it, so I just
I
showed
did.
them.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the click. Holiday. What? Something that's not celebrated. I'm trying to think of. We celebrate everything. Jesus Christ, we celebrate everything. We walk. We celebrate. We have breast cancer. We celebrate. We have.
I don't know if we celebrate.
Well, I mean, there's a holiday. There's a day. Or not even a holiday, but it's a weekend. It's a thing.
An event.
An event.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, you can make it George Michael gets caught giving up his 500th blowjob in a park day.
I do kind of like the idea of the vacuum holiday. I'm kind of
Suck it
focusing on
Saturday.
that.
There's an
Hoover
alliteration
Day.
there.
Hoover Day.
Oh, we can't give it to a specific
Well,
brand.
because of Kirby.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds.
Well, there's Electrolux,
The Dyson
I know
Ball
it.
brand.
Filter
Yeah,
Queen.
that's true.
There's a lot of
There's a lot
Rainbow.
happening.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
different
yeah.
brands.
How about the
Yeah.
Suck with Power Day?
And that could go for lots of things.
Well,
Yeah.
And she's open to business for everyone.
Yeah,
so
do
I
that
think
right around
I
Gay
think we
Pride.
got a winner.
Good call.
All right, what month for Vacuum Day? What month do you most enjoy?
Well, I think it would be a
cleaning.
spring. I think it'd have to be in the spring, or it could be an autumnal.
April.
Because you want
September.
to.
April and September are both holiday free. No.
No,
yes.
we have Labor Day and
Labor
my
Day,
birthday
yes.
in September, and Marnie's birthday.
Suck
April
it
is-
Saturday.
No, my bad. Yours is in
September.
November.
April is
Katie.
holiday free then.
Except for Easter.
That's not a holiday.
And it all depends.
always falls on a Sunday to make
and
sure that
it's
it-
not
that's why they
necessarily
always-
in April.
They
Oh, I
always
see. So
yeah.
we're looking for weekday holidays?
Right, I want a day off. Yeah.
I want a day off.
That's why they can't fuck around and the Easter always has to be on a Sunday. Because 3 days from Friday, do the math, again with the Catholic Church. 3 days from Friday is not Sunday.
It's Monday.
Right. But he rose 3 days later, and the Good Friday's when he died. Do the math. 3 days later is not a Sunday.
Monday, Thursday.
That's the Last Supper.
Monday, Thursday, he was shoved into that hole, and then
But
Then
what's
he
the
was
whole point of the
stolen.
Friday?
Good Friday
Is when he
I'm
died
just
on the
making
cross.
shit up right
That
now.
doesn't mean.
I'm just
Good
making
Lord.
shit up.
He was
But Monday,
shoved in
Thursday-
that cave, and then he was
Yeah.
stolen with an Xbox, and then dumped out a window of a car
That's
as they
right.
drove down the street.
I like it because he was not cocaine.
But and then he was
Jesus,
made in
this is
delicious
not cooking.
Reese's peanut butter
Reese's
filled
balls.
eggs.
I like
no,
it.
so the thing about I just found this out about Maundy Thursday. That's another pagan thing, and it goes along with a seasonal thing of best when used by date. So what you're supposed to do is on Monday, Thursday is you use you empty your cabinets of all of the flours, grain products, sugars, and all
Really?
that stuff. So that's why it's all about baking, because everything expires that day. Everything's good for like
I
a
have
year on a
never
shelf.
heard that.
So on Monday, Thursday, that's why you make the pancakes, you make the breads, you do all your baking on Monday, Thursday, and it's a pagan thing to
I've never heard
that's
that.
the year that you get rid of all the
Interesting.
grains and everything
Okay.
to clear out your cupboards.
You're not making that up.
Nope, that's what Monday, Thursday is all about.
Very
It's a
intrigued.
pagan thing.
I've never heard of this before in my life.
Because
That's
I
awesome.
used to ask, like I said, we were Methodist white people in an Italian Catholic
Sure.
neighborhood, so we do St. Joseph's table in my family. I don't know what the fuck St. Joseph
I
did
have
or
no
why they have all
idea.
the delicious bread. But Maundy Thursday was something that we always did, and we always had pancakes.
That's interesting.
And so finally I asked a
I like
Catholic,
it.
I'm like, what the fuck? And they were like,
I asked a Catholic.
the Catholic didn't know, but the person that explained like why Easter moves, because it's based on a planting holiday.
Okay.
Good Friday is the
That
first.
I have heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first. Good Friday has to be the first Friday after the first full moon after the equinox.
See, now this sounds
for
like algebra.
planting.
That's all algebra to me.
Right, but that's why it changes every year, because Good Friday has to fall on
Carry
the
the
first
one.
Friday after the full moon after the spring equinox. That's why it can be so late or so early.
Okay.
Because it's based on a pagan ritual. It's not based on when he died, because it's too religious to make it a national holiday. So we have to go with how the church originally did it.
Okay.
And that's why 3 days after he died is not Sunday, but it has to fall on a Sunday so no one can make it a religious holiday to have Easter off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's all these rules about trying to keep separation of church and state. That's all bullshit. Mine would be
I thought we were going to get to this.
similar to yours, and is like, it's too fucking hot to care August Day.
Let me out on a Wednesday. Do it on a Wednesday because
Well,
you want the day
but
off.
why?
you said.
Because the club
Right,
going
but
up
I would
on a
rather
Tuesday.
have it on a Friday or a Monday to offer
yeah,
my
yeah.
condolences to those who it's too fucking hot for, so somebody gets, because I think holidays should make everything a 3-day weekend.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like sometime in August, early August, you're pretty much sick of everyone you know or love.
I think mid-August,
Around
don't you?
August 3rd. No, because Labor Day's coming up in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
that's a good call.
We just got to get a little break between 4th of July
Yeah,
and
a month
Labor
later.
Day.
Okay.
And it's called It's Just Too Fucking Hot and Muggy, and I'm going to kill you if you talk to me again. Day.
Day. Blarney, except
Can we make that an acronym of something?
non-Blarney.
JTFH.
WW.
Wait,
would
Cambodia has
you
like a
just
ridiculous amount of national holidays, most of any countries. I think we're the only first world country that doesn't have a bank holiday every month of the year.
Yeah.
Canada makes shit up to make sure that every year, because Canadians especially do not
true.
understand why we are August and March free of holidays in October. They don't get it, because they have stupid holidays all the fucking time. Blah,
Okay.
blah, blah day. I like that one too.
Hang on. No, her links are good. Sorry Charlie Day, as it turns out, is observed always on April 6th. And the description says, have you ever been rejected for anything? Sure you have. We all have. Sorry Charlie Day is for all of us who have been spurned and yet somehow survived it. Take a minute today and reflect upon past dejection. Then smile with the realization that shit happens to all of us.
Has nothing to do with Star-Kissed tuna. Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
Nope, no.
I like that holiday, but
know.
if she could just move it to August.
We have
April here is really quite pleasant.
Sorry, you're sweating,
Right.
Charlie.
All right, we got just a couple minutes left. Let's-
Real quick follow-up. There was a fun question in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Wait. Okay.
Okay, I'm back again.
Where's your favorite spot in your house? This is off a website, and I think this question's kind of fun.
My backyard.
Okay.
Does it have to be in my house?
No.
Yeah. My
Of
backyard.
your environs, if you will.
That's where if I could, I would spend all my time. But yeah.
Kitchen. Mm-hmm. Kitchen's the center of the house.
There's a song called "I'm Always in the Kitchen at Parties." Look that up too.
That's
It's a fun
true.
song.
I'm not looking
And
at it
that's
right
so true.
And it's such a
mine
trip.
would be my workshop, totally, because it's a whole my own world. It's not influenced by TV or anything else. It's not work like computer work. It's just I'm out there tinkering and doing my own thing. So yeah, my in-home workshop.
Mine is that behind the door space where I have to sit up.
Okay.
That little and I can lay down there if need be, but it's the place where I have to sit up and I can peek out the window and like stare at the neighbors and like watch the TV and
Wow.
I just love sitting there and I can read my book. Like if I close the blinds, I can read my book and like keep my Kindle or whatever the fuck this thing's called.
Sure.
iPad.
My iPad.
You
like
read
I
Kindle on.
Yeah, I just like because the breeze comes through and it's nice.
What'd you find the song? Oh, she found something.
I'm always in the kitchen at parties.
Oh yeah, look your thing up.
Another obscure 80s song that only I know.
It's fantastic.
Used to dance around in that one too.
It looks fantastic.
Because if it has to be in the house, I would say the kitchen as
But
well.
isn't that funny though that every party you're at,
Yeah.
eventually you're all just standing in the kitchen?
Yeah, that was always the way it was with us back home. Always.
Well,
Yesma'am.com.
circle your way around it. I like it.
I love that
Oh.
in this video they're using the the lead pipe microphones from the 80s.
In fucking August.
You know how
Bag
they're
of Nope
always
is,
like straight
Oh,
tubes?
right.
Bag of Nope is really upset that we went in August.
It's in
She,
fucking August.
she don't like the hot.
Hell,
No.
would you be allowed to kill? I already talked about wanting my own purge day. I don't know if I would do it, but
If other people were like purging, cleaning out stuff, or like,
No, like the
Purge.
purge.
oh no.
oh, Nero, if you ever met me in person, I'm the biggest pacifist in the world. Like I get nauseous watching boxing matches. So all these things are just stupid things I say.
Oh, and Nero, as far as living in a studio, I'm totally with you. Like the idea, like it's just comfortable and compact, and you know, it's all your favorite.
Alrighty, kids, we've done it again. We've wasted
that.
3 hours of our time and yours
Hey!
producing a show that is listened to by bunches and bunches of people around
Tens
the
of
world.
people.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. But before we leave you, we will leave you with this wonderful, warming thought. We will see you next Tuesday!
Thank you.
Have a great night, guys.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.